Yay.
Yay! Hello.
Are we here? Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. Hi there.
Sweet.
Everybody wave. Hello. Happy Wednesday night. It is us, your friends, with Stream of Blades, a Band of Blades actual play stream. My name is Rudy Basso. These are my friends. Today, we are starting with the campaign phase of the game, which Shane will gladly explain to us. I am one of the co-owners of Don't Split the Podcast Network, which is what you are currently watching the channel of. You can find me online at Rudy Basso. One thing before we do start, though, is we have donations for this game, which is very exciting, and they are much more helpful to the players, we'll say, this week versus last week's, and maybe later tonight's donations. So for 100 bits, you can give us an extra intelligence question during the mission. This probably makes no sense out of context also. But nope. The big one I want to hit is 500 bits will name someone after you in the Legion. We are a Legion, a corps of over 30 members, and one of them could be you. Pretty exciting. Oh, wait. No, wait, that's 300 bits. What? We should change that. This is a 500-bit donation. It's 300 bits. Okay, cool. Anyway, hi, Game Master.
Okay. Sorry, I was texting my mom to tell her to watch.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
Same.
Oh, yeah, no, I was texting. You were texting my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so I'm Shane. I am at Mundangerous on Twitter. I will, in fact, be the Game Master for this. I use he, him pronouns, and I am also the host of Total Party Thrill, which is one of the podcasts on the Don't Split the Podcast Network.
Amber, hi, hello. Who are you?
Hi. Yes, hi. I'm Amber, and I use she, her pronouns, and you can find me online on Twitter at RocketOrca or my website, which is rocketorca.com. I am the co-owner of the Geekspective Podcast Network, which actually has a live stream that is being hosted on the Don't Split the Podcast Network's Twitch called Tales from Oxbury.
Whoa.
We're playing Godbound.
Yes. Who are you playing right now in this stream?
Right now, I am playing Countess Claudette Vanderbilt, the Quartermaster.
Quartermaster. Cool.
Yes.
Sally, hello. Who are you? Who are you playing today?
Hi, Rudy. I'm Sally. I'm playing Marshal Melendra Mal Yadab. And can I also talk about my real self? I'm on Twitter.
You may, of course.
I'm on Twitter at Sally T, and I co-host a podcast called The Struggle Bus, which is a mental health and advice show, and you can find it wherever you listen to podcasts.
Awesome. And finally, I-Hsien, hello. Who are you? Who are you playing?
Hi, everyone. I'm I-Hsien, he, him. I also host the Total Party Thrill podcast, and you can find me on Twitter at I-Hsien Sherwood. I am right now playing Ash, the Spymaster. You may realize Ash is a color, which means that he's a Panyar, but maybe we'll find out more about him later.
Oh.
You got to speak into the microphone, I-Hsien. You're killing me.
You got to turn up that gain, yeah.
Fine.
Yes, thank you. Some of us listen to this after the fact on the train, and it's impossible to hear you.
Cool. Great. First obstacle that we've come across. Exciting. Also, I'm playing Greymane, who's the commander of this company. I talk like that. Shane, please take it away.
Yeah, so last time on Stream of Blades, the Corps Undying had escaped the loss at Ettenmark Fields, the catastrophic defeat at Ettenmark Fields, but in the process, the commander was captured, holding the rear guard of the retreat. And so you march south, led by the chosen Zora, to a keep at the foot of the mountains. And while Zora, the Legion, and some other soldiers assaulted the gate of the keep, a strike team of specialists and the squad of Ghost Owls, your stealth specialists, infiltrated through the sewer, sprung Commander Greymane, killed the Cinder King's Inquisitor, and then escaped out the window over the ramparts by, what do you call that?
A ballista zip line?
Zip line? Yeah. Like, an emergency zip line? Yeah. Out and to safety. In the process, you lost one of your rookies, RIP Amber Raging Blaze, but you ultimately were successful in your mission. So that kind of wrapped up the stream last time, and then that wrapped up the mission phase last time. We calculated all of our XP. And now, like, we move into the next phase of the game within Band of Blades, which is called the campaign phase. And now we take over kind of our permanent characters, our permanent roles, which, as everybody has introduced themselves, are the commander, the marshal, the quartermaster, and the spymaster. And so we will take the strategic direction of the Corps Undying as we try to still march towards Skydagger Keep and ultimately hold the line through winter so that we can mount a defense of humanity against the Cinder King in the spring. So there are just a series of steps that we go through in campaign phase. But I think it probably makes sense. We introduced ourselves. We said who we're playing, but we should probably talk a little bit about who the command staff is of this mercenary company, right? Like who are the people? Like what's immediately apparent about the command staff? Because I think we've met Greymane before, right? Because he was captured and saved in the last mission, but I don't think we've met the rest of the staff.
Cool. So maybe we're at a staff meeting. It's the next day. Greymane has fainted from blood loss and significantly being beaten. So he's back. He's kind of sitting in his chair, his Greymane chair. And
I think we're actually probably on the move.
We're on the move. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think this is a
never mind.
This is a quick pack up
Am I
in
being
March.
Carried on my Greymane chair.
yes, the same.
You probably have a horse.
A gray
Who's
mane
named
horse.
Greymane chair?
Yeah. Yes.
Nice.
All right, fine. Then we're riding at the middle of the pack?
Yeah, sure. Let's call it.
I don't know. What kind of commander is Greymane?
Yeah. How
Lead
long would
from
Greymane
the
wait?
middle.
Okay.
The classic strategy.
Yeah.
So a coward?
No. That's lead from the back. He's in between coward and
Cautious.
Cautious.
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, I've called the officers together to get a little more detail on where we currently are in terms of resources, both physical and also more metaphorical, things like morale or our intelligence. And I'll tell you right now, we don't really have any intelligence. It was a desperate escape, and that was the priority. We weren't trying to capture prisoners on our way out. We were just trying to get out. And with Zora's help, we were able to do so. With Zora's help, we were able to do so, but we had to sacrifice any knowledge of the enemy, whether they're following us. Obviously, they're following us, but like their numbers, how many they have, whether the Cinder King is with him, where the Cinder King is. We don't know any of that stuff. So learning that is something that's on the top of my mind. Claudette.
Yeah. Yes.
I look at you. What do I see?
So Claudette is an Orite, and she is a very tall woman. I would say 5'11". She is a very poised person. She has brown hair, brown eyes, and she wears it pulled back tight up in a bun. And she has a very square jaw, and on that jaw, you could see that there is a distinct scar leading from like her ear down. And she also always carries like, do you know those old timey like weird looking like horns for like hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what she has too, because she has a loss of hearing.
Nice.
In her left ear, from where the scar is and everything.
You're on my right side always.
Yeah. So like what?
Is it a fine ear horn?
Yes, an ear horn.
Fine.
Oh, a threat to Quartermaster.
So how are we doing on supplies? And also, can you explain how supplies work in this game?
Good question. So just out of character real quick, I am learning a lot about Quartermaster still. We did like initial supply setup to begin with. So as far as like I got to choose like how 5 supplies are used. I had a little bit confusing time with food and boxes and circles and stuff, but we got to figure it out. So
yeah, do you want me to give just a quick overview there?
Yeah, please.
Cool. So supply is a resource that you gain from missions primarily. It's mostly used to either boost your campaign actions or to take additional campaign actions in the campaign phase. And you have a limit to how much you can carry when you move from location to location. Then what you chose was materiel.
Yes.
Right. So you started with one food store, and then you had a choice of where to allocate 5 more boxes of materiel, which are things like food, laborers, siege weapons, supply carts, horses, black shot, which is like the undead murdering special ammo, religious supplies, like which let you equip reliquaries, that sort of stuff. So each of those has a different effect on the game, which I think we can kind of cover that as we get to them.
Sure.
And then you also keep track of the legions, alchemists, and mercies.
Right.
So mercies are the healers, and alchemists obviously create like alchemical things. Right? They let you do that, and of course also gain corruption because alchemy is now corrupted.
Yes. So again, out of character, what I chose for us is I chose for extra 5, 2 more food stores, laborers, horses, and black shot. Didn't go with religious supplies. Thought food was super important. So to Greymane, Claude is like, as far as food is concerned, we're good for now.
What do laborers do?
Good question.
Laborers help you when you work on long-term projects.
Like building that still.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
So one of the examples, is actually building a special still that will improve morale more when you have a Liberty campaign action. But so long-term projects are the Legion's way to change the rules of the game, right? So like you could do a long-term project that might reduce the corruption that's taken from doing alchemy, for example, or like provide like permanent protection in the form of like permanent reliquaries or something like that. And as we work on like what you want to do with your long-term project, we'll figure out how long does it take and like how many steps are there and all that sort of thing.
And then I'm allowed to choose either a mercy or an alchemist, and since Claudette is an Orite, I chose to go with an alchemist. So we have an alchemist named Callum.
Oh, awesome. And that's an additional specialist, right, that we can take with us on missions?
He is not a specialist. They don't actually have playbooks, but there are some special missions that require either a mercy or an alchemist. Like mercy is typically religious. Alchemists tend to be more like blow shit up.
Are they... There's no playbook, so there'll always be like attached NPCs on missions?
They're always an NPC, and they're not members of the Legion either. They're like
so they can
attachments.
Like, leave, right? They don't have any loyalty.
Right.
Well, I'm happy we have horses, because as I always say, a company on the move, and then you all say, is a company victorious? And I frown. Logistics are the key to any victory.
I mean, I'm glad we have the alchemist, but we're going to have to kill him at some point, so don't get too attached.
What?
Well, once he gets corrupt, every time he
right. Yeah. Don't tell him that part.
He knows.
He's well aware.
So supplies are good, and it looks like we just got supplies from an old friend of ours named Josh. Josh
has given us one free question during mission planning.
So he gave 500 bits actually.
Oh, I'm so bad at reading. Yeah. Why does it say 5 100s instead of just 100?
So it defaults to do that. You can change it so you do 500, but it's not a big deal. So he's given us a supply or an asset, which is pretty significant.
Huh.
Thank you, Josh. Yeah.
So Amber, you can mull that over. We don't have to decide now.
Okay. It's just nice because supply is I can use it to boost an action or gain another action.
Yeah.
But we could also pick up another alchemist or a mercy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or more horses.
Or more horses. Or more food.
One track.
We can't do food yet.
All right. So who else does Greymane turn to in the command roster?
Next,
he
turns to his right hand, his most trusted advisor. Sorry, Claudette, and Ash, you're kind of creepy. So he turns to Mal. Mal, I assume you've been running the company while I was indisposed. How are things? How are the men? I know this was a hard loss, but we did our part, so I hope that they know that.
Indeed, Commander. It was a hard loss, but well fought. Ultimately, a victory. We got you out more or less alive. Took some injuries, lost a rookie. The rookies were shaken up by it. slippery Peter, that rapscallion.
I hate that guy.
He took one in the shoulder, but he's going to be okay. We're hanging tough. And as you look at Marshal Mal Yadab, you see a tall, trim Barton man in his 50s. I'm picturing a Stannis Baratheon in terms of an erect carriage and very a bearing, a serious bearing. He's a man of gravity. Picture some close cropped hair, graying at the temples, the salt and pepper thing over here. He is a bold man, but he's very stylish. He dresses in the flowy garments traditional to Barta. So he has the Stannis bearing, but he's also never not seen in a flowing kaftan or a harem pant that is flowy, but nevertheless tailored to his silhouette. His hands are covered in rings. Many Bartons wear jewelry as tokens of friendship and connection with others. So lots of rings on his fingers. And he is really into logistics. He was a logistics manager in Barta before he joined the Legion. He helped move imports and exports out of the region, and now he's taken that passion and he's moved it into personnel. He thinks of himself as kind of an HR manager of the Legion.
Nice. I love it. That's why we get along so well. Logistics are the key. Oh yeah, I used to be a quartermaster also. That's also why I love horses so much.
I love this because, well, actually, who's older between Greymane and Mal? It almost sounds like Mal is the older one.
Yeah, I think so.
How old is Greymane?
I would say late 40s.
Okay, yeah. So
Still
I'm like 50s.
Yeah.
Who's been in the company longer?
So Greymane used to run the Shattered Lions. He was a squad leader.
That explains a lot.
I don't know. I feel like Mal might have been command staff longer. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah, I could totally see Mal like not being interested in moving up, because I think like the typical for the game, right? The typical kind of relationship is like you have the captain who sets the direction, and then like the marshal is like the lieutenant, right? Who has to like deploy the men to carry out the order. But like I love how Mal isn't really a military guy.
Yeah.
Like he wears like, business casual to the office.
Yeah. I
How he
think
rolls,
the way Mal kind of listed off that a rookie died is kind of by the book, maybe, whereas Greymane would be a little more affected by the death of one of the Legion.
Would he? Because when he got back after the death, he just went straight to work.
All right, come on.
I mean, so the Great Breaking was, 3 years ago? Maybe we lost the last commander then, and that's when Greymane ascended.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
But cool. Mal was the old marshal.
Cool. So you have been the commander for this campaign, but you weren't the commander down in the Isles.
I was the quartermaster.
Oh, right. You were quartermaster.
I don't know. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know. Does promotion from a squad leader to commander seem too significant?
Probably not. Okay. I mean, not from the Shattered Lions.
I was going to say they're
the honor guard, right?
Yeah, they have like the longest history within the Legion. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the game doesn't necessarily like talk about full on like hierarchy and chain of command,
I'm just wondering.
Right?
Like,
what do we decide that our promotional structure is?
Yeah.
Right.
I think lots probably.
Frequent promotion. Early and often.
Were you standing close to the last officer who died?
Yeah, exactly. Call dibs. Okay, cool. So I don't think there's too much to explain on the marshal sheet, though, right? Like that's all.
I guess.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's like mostly when engagement comes up, when engagement roles come up. I mean, the only thing besides that I track, I'm tracking all of the squads, and when we're in the mission phase, I'm keeping track of like who gets wounded and what stress people have and stuff. But besides that, it's really just morale.
Right.
And you're about to roll our secondary mission.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is our morale currently?
Our morale is currently 8 out of 10.
Ooh, all right.
If I had to, Commander, put a mechanical number to the amount of morale that we're all feeling right now.
That is always how I prefer it.
Yeah. We're really on the same page, you and I.
Yeah, the value of that is that you'll take the full number of campaign actions, which is 2. As your morale goes down, you get fewer campaign actions, which is pretty brutal because if it goes low enough, you don't even get a chance to get liberty and improve your morale.
So it sounds like we should have a tea party right now.
Bring out the finger sandwiches.
Right away.
All right, so let's introduce Ash.
Yeah, I turned to look at Ash. Where are you? Are you riding with us? Are you a little further away?
Oh, okay. So here's the thing. Ash the Spymaster is actually very friendly and gregarious. Often one of the first people to welcome squads back from missions.
Oh.
Yeah. Glad-hander. Good looking at first, but easily forgettable. There's just something about him that he sort of like drops out of mind once he's out of sight. Now, his name is Ash. That is a color name that indicates that he's a Panyar, but he only has the one name, not 2 or 3. And when people ask him about this, he just says, I left the forest when I was young, which means he never got his animal mark, although the rest of the command staff would know that his animal mark is actually retractable fangs, so easily hidden and only seen when he's about to kill somebody.
With his teeth.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, when you have no other weapons left, they are fine teeth. So
How does he feel about daylight?
Too. He's fine with daylight. Loves it. Now he's been. I would say he's been with the. He's been Spymaster for about 10 years, I think. And the only real change in him has been that he's very friendly and gregarious on the outside. The Legion like his company, but command staff will have noticed that he hasn't genuinely laughed probably in about 3 years, which is probably exactly when the moon shattered, which of course is that was the goddess, one of the goddesses of the Panya forest.
Nyx, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he took that pretty hard, and actually when Claudette says, I didn't worry about gathering more religious supply, he sort of nods at that. I don't think that's really important. I think recruiting a new alchemist was a much better use of our time, especially after what happened to the last one.
Bad business that.
It sounds like Ash is probably the longest tenured member of the command staff then.
Well, how long has Mal been on command staff? How long has Mal been the marshal? Because Ash is definitely younger than Greymane or Mal. Probably early 30s.
Well, Sally?
I'm sort of thinking of Mal as like having this is kind of a second career for him. So I don't think it's been ages.
Successful importer-exporter turned mercenary? Ooh, I'd like to know why that change was made.
Play to find out how that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So in that case, that means that Ash is the longest tenured member of the command staff, but that also begs the question, why has he not moved out or up from Spymaster?
How do you move out or up from
I was about
Spymaster?
to say, yeah. Once you're the master of spies.
It's kind of like I think it sounds to me like One Eye, the lore keeper, and Ash, the Spymaster, are sort of the like long-term steadying presence for like the command staff. And
that makes sense.
I don't think One Eye is he's not a senior officer, right? Like he's not an officer at all. In fact, One Eye is just the analyst, right? The lore keeper. But like being the lore keeper gets you access to people that no one else really has, right? So I think like they probably work together to try and like keep the company on the straight and narrow, even as like these shifts happen.
Yeah, One Eye is either like older and has a lot more experience, or has some sort of special insight. Now, whether that is being kind of crazy or just being like very intelligent, we can decide.
I mean, little column A, little column B.
Yeah.
You might note that One Eye's marvelous foresight is actually hindsight.
Nice.
I I would also say that no one else has any idea how to be a Spymaster. Maybe that's also why you've been Spymaster so long.
Yeah, I mean, when you set up the network, you can't really pass it on. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe your network doesn't live very long.
Ash has finally come into spies he believes can last. I think previously he probably sort of threw spies at missions and didn't really worry what happened to them. Right now, though, he's got I'll go into it.
Oh,
He's got two spies right now in his roster, although he's rapidly trying to expand his network. He recently recruited Crimson Vexing Gale, who is very mysterious. No one really knows what he does, but he, is very good at gathering intel and accomplishing his missions, and is great at getting out of tight corners or scrapes. And so he never ends up wounded while he's on a mission. Now, one of the benefits, however, of being Spymaster for so long, though, is he does also work with a master spy, Antoinette, who's an Orite, and has never failed a mission.
Wow.
Wow.
Do you tell us their names or no?
Oh, those are code names, right?
Code names.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those are the code names. Okay.
Yeah.
And that is interesting. It's Crimson Vexing Gale, right? But that obviously, like, you can't have a Panyar spy use their real name because the name tells you so much about them, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a bibliographical.
Interesting.
Which, of course, is why he goes by just Ash.
And are your spies actually legionnaires? Are they members of the Legion? Have they sworn an oath?
Yes.
Cool.
The next one I recruit, I don't know. I guess we'll see where we are when we recruit.
Cool.
What do you need to recruit more spies?
I'll be sending Antoinette out into the field to look for maybe some Aldermani who have a particular skill set.
All right.
We're on the move, so we're headed toward Panya, but there aren't a ton of forest dwellers around these parts on the way to the Western Front.
All right. I'm thinking. Okay. Cool.
All right. So the first thing that happens in campaign phase is time passes, which means...
Wait, don't we have to do secondary mission?
No, there is no secondary mission for the first
one.
Yeah, we'll have a secondary mission today.
Cool.
Yeah, so time passes. So the first thing is you add 1 tick to the time clock, Rudy. And then the Quartermaster uses 1 food to sate the appetites of the troops. And the undead continue to approach. The commander increases pressure by 1.
Oh boy, that's okay. That's okay, because we have Zora's special ability, which allows us to reduce it to 0.
So you have 1 pressure right now?
We have 1 pressure, yes.
Cool. So the way pressure works is we roll pressure whenever we move locations.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, like that potentially ticks the time clock further and accelerates the risk of running out of time getting to Skydagger.
And when we run out of time, we are done with the game. So
correct.
That's very important. That's why I'm always talking about horses.
The Legion is surrounded if you run out of time.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So
then we move on to campaign actions.
Yes.
So this will be primarily driven by the Quartermaster and the Spymaster for what you would like to do. And we'll figure out what that looks like. And depending on what we're doing, we might, have some free play scenes or whatever to kind of illustrate what choices we make.
Okay. So are we doing campaign actions right now then?
Yeah, we're going to choose our campaign actions now. I think it's good to do this in character. Questions of how to kind of model it, we'll talk kind of out of character.
Sure. So out of character right now, is our morale considered high?
8
Yes.
of 10?
Yes.
Yeah.
8 of 10?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that. Okay. So, Claudette will talk to the commander, approaches Greymane and says, well, right now we're fine on food and doesn't seem like we really need to recruit anybody. But is there anything, I would suggest maybe we start a long-term project, maybe rest and heal up.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
I'm trying to think. Heal up. We didn't talk about healing. So Slippery Peter got stabbed in the shoulder. Is
He did.
Just it
Yeah, and
takes-
a lot of specialists are very stressed out.
Yeah, a lot of
That's
stress.
true. Yeah.
So
Yeah, so we could talk real quick about what the options are for campaign actions. Amber, do you want to kind of run through them?
yeah, so like I said, my suggestion right now would be to either do Liberty, which every character clears up to 3 stress, and Legion morale increases by 2. Rest and recuperation. Every Legionnaire may mark a tick in any harm row. We could also have the mercies, or I don't think we do alchemists. No, it just says mercies. The alchemists can heal too, right?
No, you
No,
don't.
no.
Yep.
So yeah, they would just be able to mark a tick in any harm row for rest and recuperation.
Okay.
So it won't actually like completely heal you, but
No.
it puts you along the path to healing.
So it's either or in terms of healing harm or clearing stress.
Correct.
Well, I guess we could do both as 2 different actions.
Yeah.
Are you talking about for Liberty?
Can you take Liberty twice, or wait? Does Liberty do both of those things?
No, Liberty does. Sorry, excuse me. Stress and morale.
It's just okay.
Right, and then there's another one that clears harm.
Yes.
Okay,
And we can take 2 quartermaster
we
actions.
could do both of them.
Okay.
Yes, and we could also spend supply as well
Oh, to clear all stress rather than
to
3.
boost it. Yes.
Hmm.
We could have a real rager.
I mean, we did just get the commander back. That could be cause for celebration.
Let's put on a party.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Party.
Commander party. I do love
So,
a good
yeah.
party.
So it sounds like that would be like the next time you make camp, like tonight, you would kind of cut as many troops free time as possible.
Yeah. Okay, let's do the stress relief one, I think.
Okay.
Well, it's up to the quartermaster.
Oh, you're right.
Yes.
That's my
We'll-
recommendation.
So one option you can do
Yeah.
too is you can boost it by spending a supply, and that will clear all stress for legionnaires.
I will boost it.
Okay.
We'll break out the good juice.
The good juice. Yes.
That good juice.
That good juice.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Boom. Sally, are you going through and marking all of these?
Yes, I'm marking on my not on like your sheets, on my sheet with all your gang stuff.
Cool. I cleared a rune stress. We'll have to get to a point where we can all access these, or nobody can, or whatever.
Who else was
yeah.
injured on the mission? Was it just Slippery Peter?
I think
I think so.
It was it was
Okay.
just Slippery Peter and rest in peace,
Rip.
Amber Raging Blaze.
Okay.
Right. Because who's the heavy? Oh, because Red Raging kept tanking everything. Took harm was her armor.
Yeah, exactly.
So I will, one other thing, I just looked up the alchemists. So alchemists actually give you extra actions.
Ooh.
Like they specifically, like alchemists work on either acquire assets or long-term project related to alchemy supplies. So if you would like, and I mean, of course, like you roll for these. So if you could potentially take corruption, that's kind of the trade-off, but you can have alchemists working on like providing some alchemical substance or, something of that nature too. And that's just free. Like you can do that in addition to your regular campaign actions.
Oh.
I mentioned that because you hired an alchemist.
Yeah.
So maybe, and we don't have to make that decision immediately, but like kind of keep that in the back of your
Yeah,
mind.
I'll keep that
right?
in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
So just to make sure, on top of the stress and everything, the morale increases by 2.
If you boost it, then it increases by 4.
Oh yes, 4. Sorry.
So yeah, we max morale.
So
Yes.
so we're at 10 now.
Yep.
Cool.
Also, I'm looking down a lot because I have everything printed out because I'm
Sure.
an old woman. And so then the next one we wanted to do was rest and recuperation.
I don't know. What are some of the other things?
So we could potentially start a long-term project if there's something we want to work on. We could pick one of our specialists to lead that project. Do you really want that still?
What are some of the other? Can we get like a special
Is that specialist still available for missions? This is just a separate thing?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or does this use them up?
No, I think you can still use the specialist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like you can use the specialist for a mission, but it's what like a specialist uses a stat to carry out the long-term project.
Right. We could also try and acquire assets, or we could also try and to recruit.
Whoa.
We don't need to recruit because that gives us 5 or up to 5, and we're only missing 1 right now.
Okay.
Legionnaires.
I will say also acquiring assets here is very difficult. This is the asset rating is 0 here and the Western
Yeah,
Front.
I was gonna
So
say.
let's start that still.
Until we get to the
That
cities.
still sounds great.
So it sounds to
Still,
me
still.
Yeah,
like
so it's
you used to have a still and you've lost the still.
It-
Yeah.
Now we are replacing our lost still as priority 1.
And that shouldn't corrupt the alchemist. Bonus. And if it does, let's burn that still.
Okay.
I think that's fair. If you would like to use the alchemist to work on the still, that wouldn't necessarily cause him corruption, but maybe he is better at something. I don't know what skill you think you would use to work on this project.
How else get popular?
Rig?
With new friends.
And what are you trying to? What do you want the still to do when it's complete? What's the goal for it?
Good question. What is our goal with this? Like Claudette's like doesn't drink alcohol. So this is for the troops. I'm not exactly sure what we need here.
Could it give us more morale
Or
when we
reduce-
take the liberty action?
Reduce stress.
Yeah, I
it
think
doesn't.
I think
that's
one
right.
or the other. Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, I think reduce stress. We're pretty good with morale, right?
Yeah.
For now.
So I think it's probably like an 8 clock.
Ooh,
And we can say it'll clear 1 extra stress.
Nice.
nice.
And I will reserve the right to correct that later if
Sure.
that seems way too easy.
Rulings. So, will do the laborers also help with that, or because it's?
Yes, laborers, I believe, give you an extra die on the
Ooh,
long-term
nice.
project
Yeah.
roll.
Cool.
So I have to pick a specialist to lead this project.
Yep, and that will be you'll roll that specialist's ability, I believe.
And are we gonna do we pick the ability? Like rig
It's
is what I'm
gotta be
thinking.
rig, right? Yeah.
It's gotta be a rig. And
Or
the only
research.
Oh, sorry. Actually, let me correct that. The laborers do not give you an extra die. Each unit of labor automatically puts a tick on any long-term project that's appropriate.
Ooh,
So
whoa,
if it's a
appropriate.
labor-based project of building things, right, then your laborers automatically give you a tick,
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
That's awesome.
whether or not you use the action,
Oh, nice.
which is good to know. So you don't have to always spend the action to get that, but you do have to spend the action to start the project.
Okay.
Yes. So the only specialist I can see right now in the Roll 20 is mine, the medic, who has a 2 in rig. So
Probably the best. Also, maybe scrounge to find stuff, which Slippery Peter has points in.
Don't put him in charge.
no, I'm gonna have the doctor do it.
All right.
That sounds safer.
I already knows like the basics of alcohol and stuff and can rig stuff together. So I'll roll a rig.
Okay.
Okay. And I don't get any bonus dice or anything.
Not unless you boost, which will, of course, cost supply.
I think
We have
hold,
one supply. I hold the boost.
supply. Yeah.
You could have 2 supply if you wanted to use Josh's donation.
I don't know.
Let's hold on.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
So we're gonna get an extra tick anyway from the laborers.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 4 and a 5.
So that's a 5, which is a
2.
2.
Okay.
Plus 1, so you'll start with 3 ticks on your. So go ahead, add a clock on your sheet that is stress reducing still.
Okay. Stress. Didn't we come up with a name for it?
Super still.
The good hooch,
Good juice.
toilet wine. I
Juice
don't know.
maker.
I'm gonna call it juice maker or the juicer.
They call it
There's a-
juicero.
What was that weird millennial like tech juice that was just you just squeeze it and then it
That was juicero.
That's Juicero.
Juicero.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's what it's called.
Juicero.
Nice.
Cool.
All right.
That was silly.
Did
All right,
we just? Oh, sorry.
And have we done the Liberty?
Yes.
Yes.
We're committed to Liberty? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So
Okay.
everyone will clear up to 3 stress. There's no penalty for clearing too much stress.
Oh no, that was boosted,
That was
wasn't
boosted,
it?
so
Yeah,
it
we
was-
boosted it.
Sorry, you clear all stress.
We
Yep,
clear
you
it all.
just-
But are
perfect.
we doing anything about slippery Pete's level 2 harm?
Hey, it's just a flesh wound, eh?
Rub
Hey,
some
it's
dirt in it, slippery Pete.
-1D. Yeah, I
Chew on this moss.
Exactly.
think it's okay.
The thing about taking that rest and recuperation action is like the more people resting, the
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. Sorry, slippery.
Hey. We just want, yeah.
My arms off.
Oh, bad West. All right.
Okay,
Soon
so
there will-
Cool.
I suggested this, but let's do just kind of like a quick free play of like what this Liberty looks like. I suggested like tonight when we set camp, right? You cut as many men loose to like off of watch, so that you can give everybody free time.
Yeah, so I think Claudette definitely like starts going around and picks some rookies or some people to help her set stuff up. But yeah, how does the commander want to?
So I think that maybe a small ceremony after like commemorating and remembering those lost in the battle, and then afterwards drinking in their honor. And the commander comes down and sits with the men, having just been returned. I'm sure they were nervous. Everyone was nervous for the commander, I'm sure. So to see his spirits are up and high, and he quaffs some ales or whatever we drink, some juices. And I think the men's morale is brought up. They feel less stressed out because they know that the commander has their back. Maybe even the marshal makes an appearance. That's some revelry. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Marshal Mal is there. He's he doesn't like crack a smile, but he holds his he holds up his glass for the toast, and he says, "Well done, all of you," and just a brief nod, a nice curt, terse acknowledgement of a job well done, and then keeps it moving.
That's high praise from Al.
Ash is in the middle of the revelry, back slapping, happy everyone's back. Makes special note of the ghost owls because they were the ones who were out there but also injured, and like congratulates Red Raging and Azure because they are fellow Panyars and acquitted themselves so well on this mission. And he says, he heard about it, and looks at Red Raging and he's like, I think you're well on your way to a third name.
Red Raging is blushing hard from the drink and also from the compliment because she's really excited to be noticed crushing it in battle.
Yeah. Ash is not drinking, although he certainly has a drink in hand at all times. Is One Eye like, only one person died, I don't care yet?
Oh no. One Eye is very much like well, it's been a while, so settle in. Actually, that's probably not what his voice. Well, settle in. Got a long list of them to read this time, and well, I don't want to keep you here any longer than we have to, but some traditions have to be honored, and damn it, we're going to honor them. And he starts to read through this list of names, and he pauses at the towards the end, as these are newer and newer names that he kind of isn't even recognizing. And then as he gets to the end, he's like, and finally yesterday, Amber Raging Blaze. Alive now. Wait, what is it? Fuck, what do we say?
Live for now, live forever.
She lived for now, and they live forever. And he raises a glass and chugs half of it. This is like wine, right? Is what we said, the good juice.
Yes.
So this is and his demeanor of this, right? As he goes through this, kind of starts lighthearted, and as he gets to the end, he's growing increasingly somber. And it, he's been through this a lot. Like, it still takes a toll.
Ash will definitely drink now.
So actually, I want to see a scene between Tatanika Keen Knife, who was the Zemyati rookie, and like kind of mid revelry, and like seeks out Slippery Peter.
Oh,
If you recall, you were just a huge dick.
yeah.
Like yesterday.
Yeah.
And so she comes over and she's just like, why do they call you Slippery Peter? And why are you such a dick?
Do I have like a reputation? Does she
Your
need to
name is
know?
Slippery Peter.
Yeah.
And you're a dick.
Your name is Slippery. And you also
were-
say, if you can't get it from the quartermaster, come get it from me. You have a reputation.
Yeah.
You're also being a tad glib about the death of Amber Raging Blaze at a time when the rookies were deeply shook about
Yeah.
same.
Did she not hear my philosophy on death? And I guess she had walked away, or she was crying, or
Yeah,
something.
two of them had walked away already at that
She
point.
couldn't hear over her own sobs.
When you live a life like I had, I'm Australian and British.
Okay.
From the
Great.
Isles.
All right.
All right.
You're surrounded by death. Just lived in death, lived in squalor, came up through it all, came here to Legion. What do you know? More death. Sometimes the only way to get past these things is to act like a dick, as you like to say. Everyone deals with death differently. You watch one eye over there, he's about to cry. Whatever. That's not my style. That's how I deal with it. In time, you're going to find out how you deal with it, too. And then I slippery away as she tries to respond to me. That answers the first part of her question.
Who were you talking to when she approached?
I was talking to another Orite. No, not an Orite. A Penyar. Maybe Ash. Or, no, I was talking to the medic because I still hurt a lot. And was asking her how, like, so is this permanent? Am I never really going to use my arm again? Because I like it.
Let me look at it. And she looks at it, goes, I don't know. It looks pretty bad.
I'll rub some dirt in it.
She'll start like moving your arm up and down.
Ah!
How bad does it hurt? Does it hurt here?
Yeah.
How about here?
Yeah.
Pushes timber. It's okay. I think you'll be fine. Still got pain. You can still feel it, right?
Still got pain. And I look away off into the distance.
So as you slippery off, Tatanika is like, actually, I think she is also wrapped up in bandaged, right? Wasn't she?
Can't remember.
I don't think any of the rookies took anything besides Amber Raging Blaze because Red Raging was tanking the whole time.
I think she ended up. I think we said like she got some bandages put on her arm or something afterwards.
Okay.
Like, not like harm.
Oh, not like mechanically. Oh, so,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I think
Got it.
think that was just like what we described.
Got it.
I think it was her. Hold please.
Someone check the annals.
I'm checking them right now. Nope, it wasn't her. Cool, we're good. Anyway, she is just kind of like, and then stunned, and she's like, Doc, would you like a drink?
No, I'm fine, thank you. I do not partake.
Suit yourself.
And then the doctor eats cornbread. Just silently chewing.
I think, yeah, at that, I think Tatanika does a fade. Awkward party.
traditional food in the forest of Panya is
Cornbread. I think this was being served. Claudette made a bunch of cornbread.
Perfect. All right, cool. So we have a few awkward turtles in the.
I mean, war does things to you. Come
Legion.
on.
Right.
True.
Cool. All right, so I think we're good there. Oh wait, no, we have Spymaster campaign actions too, right?
Master campaign actions.
So-
All right, so just by way of explanation, there are a few options. Basically, the Spymaster has a stable of spies. Currently, I have 2. Eventually, I can recruit up to a 3rd, and they each get to take an action. And that might be something like recruiting an additional spy, building out my network, laying a trap at a location somewhere else. And these are long-term activities. They can also do things like ask intel questions about a mission, or they can help with long-term projects, like, for example, building this still. That might be something that I would send a spy in to like help do. They either like blackmail people in the area or threaten them in order to like get additional supplies in order to like help, complete the still more quickly. But right now I am going to focus on expanding the network. So in sort of like an Ewok village moment during the Revelry, I'm going to assume that like the command staff sort of like ends up together, sort of like standing and like watching it after a time, because obviously they can't get like completely wasted.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Because half of them are sober,
apparently so. And then Ash will just sort of like whisper out the side of his mouth, or like quietly so everyone else can hear. I sent, like past tense, I sent Antoinette out ahead to begin recruiting an additional spy. I think we'll have need of all the intel we can get on the long road ahead. And then he will also say, so I can't send 2 spies to do the same thing. So Correct. She is going to expand network, which means that Crimson Vexing Gale can't do that. So I am going to put him on... I think a research mission, I need to pick a particular location where they dig up all the special missions, and I don't think we have enough information for us to do that yet. So I'm going to start him working on an augment mission, which is basically he is getting in touch with his contacts in the area, and then once he actually completes that task, then that will augment the rewards on a given mission that the commander's selecting. So we're not going to be anywhere near actually having that happen, but I'm going to have him work on that because he doesn't get wounded in the field.
Right. Yeah. Right. So what's cool about augment mission is that, one, it's got an extra U in it everywhere it's presented, and I don't know if that's actually a word.
I don't believe it's a word.
Okay. Well, it's a cool typo because they kept it consistent. But yeah, so it basically like is you going out to find the choicest missions, right? Like the best. And it also lets you guarantee that the mission type that the commander wants to focus on shows up in the list.
Ooh.
Because normally like that's not a guarantee.
Right. All right. So we'll see what happens. So first off, Antoinette is going to expand network. She's a master spy. Her special ability, she begins as a master spy. Of course, she's a master spy because Ash has been working in the field for 10 years. So she rolls 2 dice instead of 1 die to expand network. So that is a 4 and a 2. So that gives me a 4.
So that's 2 ticks.
Yep. And that is all that happens there. Okay. And then Crimson Vexing is not a master, so he rolls only 1.
How big of a clock was that?
These are 8 clocks.
Okay.
All of the long-term spy missions are 8 clocks.
Gotcha.
And so augment is a 3, which is not technically a failure. What happens is, so on a 3, actually, the 1 to 3, you only get 1 tick, and the spy is wounded. And a spy who is already wounded, who is wounded again, dies. However, Crimson Vexing Gale's special ability is that he is never wounded on a mission.
Nice.
So he slips out of certain harm, but I only get 1 tick on the augment mission.
Yeah, so I think what happens to Crimson Vexing Gale is that he's out like ranging pretty far ahead of the Legion. You guys are marching up from the south, and there are definitely like there are bands of undead along the way, right? As you're trying to march back towards the Western Front. So I think he just gets caught up in one of those and ends up, rather than really focusing on the mission, focuses on escaping.
Which is smart. That's what I want him to do.
Right. Like it's a long game as a Spymaster.
Cool. All right. That is all of Spymaster actions.
Cool. So now we advance, and the commander for the first campaign phase is required to advance. So advancing means we change locations. You were previously kind of in the middle of nowhere. You are now advancing to the location Western Front.
Cool. So do I have to roll?
Yeah, it's a pressure drop.
Yeah, so you will roll pressure.
So we have 1 pressure becomes 0. Which
because
means,
of our chosen
because of
special
our,
ability.
Yep, Zora's special ability. Which means, is it roll 2d6 take the lower, or
it's 0?
It's
Pressure
just 0.
0. Yeah, then it's
roll,
roll 2d6 and take the lower.
I rolled a 1 and a 5.
So that means
take the 1.
time advances by 1.
That is the best possible thing that can happen. Okay, so we've already filled the summer clock by half. Ugh.
Oh, it's 5 ticks already?
It's at
Yeah, you
4
started
ticks.
at 3.
Okay.
So that sucks. But pressure's back
and
down
then
to 0.
Yeah, pressure goes to 0.
Cool.
Cool. So now we would do mission generation. So the commander would pick a mission focus type, and I would roll them. Which mission focus type would you like?
So mission types. There are 4.
Yeah. So there's 4 mission types.
And
and
in
the
Western
way
Front, we only have 3. And all of them, we
only
have 3,
2.
right? 2.
Actually, only have 2. Yeah,
Ooh.
assault and recon are the
Assault
only 2.
and recon. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So, and we don't have special missions because I don't have any intelligence.
Correct.
So, I want intelligence.
Okay.
But, well,
Does anyone want to give us an extra question in the chat?
oh,
Well, that's
it's not
mission
even
planning. Hold on, that's different. Yeah.
So you can get questions kind of passively. The amount of intelligence determines the amount of questions I can ask and the detail of the questions. But the intelligence number themselves, I can spend that to find a special mission, and the rewards are always like crazy. It's like find another scout or find another officer or whatever.
Right.
You can get really, really strong rewards.
Find artifacts, things like that.
And I think trying to like get a bunch of those early on might be really important because later on we might not have kind of the time to try and go for these. Is it possible to get intelligence from an assault mission as a reward? I don't think so, right?
It is possible, yes.
It's possible. Okay.
But we should probably just do a recon mission, right?
Yeah.
To get more intel.
What is our engagement role on the secondary mission determined by again?
There's just a list of factors in your playbook.
Okay.
Or sorry, not in your playbook, but in
my playbook.
Marshall's playbook. Yeah, that tell you what it is. So it's like you get a die for having all legionnaires on the mission. You get a die for sending the right type of specialist on the mission. You get a die for... Oh, wait, no, actually, I don't think you get a bonus for it. I think you just don't lose one. You get a die for recon missions, I think, for spending horses.
My horses.
And,
Yeah.
and then you lose dice for a lot of things too.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to lose dice. Not early on though. Like that's definitely a later stage thing of actually losing dice. But yeah, it is possible to get intel on assault missions, but it's not super likely.
Yeah.
Assault missions generally give you morale. Recon generally gives you intel. Religious generally gives you random stuff. Like could give you time, morale, assets, and then supply typically gives you assets or supply.
Gotcha. Morale's capped. Supplies are good, right, Quartermaster? We're still in a good spot. All
Correct.
Right. Let's go recon then.
Cool.
As I'm thinking about this.
That's cool. So, I mean, I knew what I knew what the possible things were, and also like, because we're kind of like on our way to the Western Front, I set up the missions a little bit like approaching. So yeah, there are 3 missions that come out. The first one is an assault mission. The second is a recon mission. The third is a supply mission.
Okay.
So I will kind of give you the overview here.
Give me the rundown. Because the lore of the missions might play into my decision as well. Commander's a complicated man. Maybe, he doesn't think with his head sometimes. He thinks with his heart and his mad fury.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
So the assault mission, you got the undead subtype. So what was once a lightly fortified rear camp of the Eastern armies is now a war-torn blightland. As you approach the Western Front, makeshift wooden barricades and hastily constructed trench lines fill the landscape. Surrounding a small distant fortress, you see the banners of the Orite 1st Battalion and the Zemyati Ice Hammers defending behind little more than earthen embankments, besieged by a tide of dead directed by Bonerender's elite guard, the Knights of the Black Oak. The Legion will engage across the line, but if you can strike their knight commanders quickly and violently, we'll break their siege and get the weary troops a breather. So that is Line Breaker.
Knights of the Black Oak, is that it?
That's correct.
I hate them so much.
There's also Mission 2, the recon mission. We got Troop Recon, which is a bridge too near. The Tigerius River has one major crossing in the region, the ancient stone bridge outside of Carlsberg. If Render wishes to pursue the Eastern Army in force, he'll need at least one more major crossing point. After the deluge of Breaker's storms, they won't be making a fording across the river anytime soon, so it'll have to be a bridge. Scout the river north of Carlsberg, get eyes on that bridge, figure out how much time we've got, and sabotage whatever you can. The further you set them back, the longer we can hold the front. And the refugee caravan is mission number 3. That's a rescue supply mission. After an uneventful march across the rolling Aldermani Hills, the scouts reported development over the next rise. Tucked into a copse of trees appears to be a few abandoned carts and wagons from a caravan. Approach carefully, secure the site, and find out if there are any useful supplies.
So what are the penalties for each kind of mission? Because we have to fail one of these.
Yeah, you'll have to fail one because you can only pick 2. So the penalty for Line Breaker is +1 pressure, +1 time. The penalty for Recon, a bridge too near, is +1 pressure. And the penalty for Refugee Caravan is -1 morale.
Well, we're lousy with morale right now.
Yeah. Good lousy.
A good lousy.
Chock full of it.
So, don't need that.
So the Spymaster, Ash will sort of narrow his eyes a bit, and he's not smiling at all. And he's sort of like looking down at the maps and at the logs and like all this intel that's come in. And he'll say, I think the priority is intel. I think we should head to the bridge, send another squad to hold the line, or to break the line, I guess is to break the line here. And as much as I hate to say it, I think the refugees will be on their own.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, even though I hate those knights so much.
That does seem like the prudent choice.
Quartermaster?
Most rational.
Yeah.
Most rational, unfortunately. The poor refugees.
Poor refugees.
We're refugees.
But exactly. Well.
But you don't have to live like a refugee.
Well, with the Juicero coming.
That's true. Okay. Then I think that's the plan. Recon, primary, assault, secondary.
So the main difference between like primary and secondary is that we will play out the secondary, we will play out the primary mission, right? You'll choose for both of them, you'll assign specialists, you'll choose the squad, and then we'll play out the primary and we will just roll for the secondary.
Yeah.
So there are kind of pluses and minuses to both, of course, but yeah, we can do we will do the recon mission as the primary. Cool.
All right, let's get some intel.
And then everyone turns to Mal.
Yeah. Can I have a question. So if we were going to send the Ghost Owls again, are they going to be down a rookie?
Currently, yes.
Okay.
Strictly speaking, you could move a rookie from any other squad into the Ghost Owls.
Oh.
But there's sort of the like fiction mechanic of if you keep shuffling people around, right, like you lose kind of squad cohesion and things like that. So it's sort of up to you whether you would make that move immediately and risk, something like that happening.
Okay. So do we do the assigning before the engagement roll?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we also do the gather intel step.
Right. And assigning supplies from the quartermaster. So
yeah,
commander
exactly.
picks, marshal assigns who's going to which mission, quartermaster supplies everybody. We ask intel questions, and then we do the engagement roll.
I think you do intel questions before you. I think you actually do intel questions before you pick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The intel questions are pretty broad, so that makes sense. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
I'm trying to look up the intel questions now.
Yeah, I'm looking them up as well. And also, Beyond Superfluous gave us 100 bits, so are we counting that as a second level 0 question, or will we say it can be a level 1 question, Shane? What do you think?
It would be at whatever level your intel is.
Okay, so 0.
So what is 0 intel? Is that 1 question or no question?
So it's everyone is 1 question. It's just you get different levels of detail in the questions. So at 0, there's a list of questions I can have. At 1, I get wait.
Yeah, so you always you get 1 question up to your highest intel.
Yes.
Right? And you can choose from
a bigger list.
1 question has to come from 0. 1 question has to come from 1 or 0. 1 question has to come from 2, 1 or right. So you keep going. Yeah, so that's your maximum number.
And the way it works is from 0, 0 is very specific to this mission that we're going to go on, and 3 is towards the greater world. So I can ask questions about the Cinder King at 3, or what is this broken up to at the moment? What are they doing?
So this is something for everyone to sort of consider in the future, is that if I assign a spy to an interrogate mission, which just happens, then the spy can ask. So we can ask 1 question from any of the lists.
Ooh.
So that's the special ability of the spy.
That's really good. There's a lot of questions. 20.
Yeah. If you do that, I-Hsien, you should probably have a question in mind.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so just so you guys know, if you're looking at the list of questions and you're like, oh, that would be really interesting to know, then let me know. Maybe I assign, I think I can even assign 2 spies.
That's awesome. That makes me feel better too, because then I can spend my intelligence to get us special missions.
Yeah. I think that's really what we want to be doing anyway.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so let's actually do some intel questions. So you've got, sorry, who gave us the bits? It was
Beyond Superfluous.
Cool. So Beyond Superfluous has gotten you a bonus question. So you will ask 2 of these. What's the highest threat we can expect on these missions? How much travel should we expect for the missions? What would be a useful item to bring on this mission? What are 2 approaches we could use here on the mission? Which squads distrust or don't respect the leadership, and how does our chosen feel about these missions?
So I have a question about the squads one. Is that what?
Yeah. So like I said, right, one of the kind of soft effects of the fiction is that squads, as they are depleted, as they are used excessively, as they suffer casualties, is as you deal with the squads, as you move them about, as you merge them, whatever it is, right? We can start clocks that cause distrust within the Legion, as well as different aspects for leadership, right? The flip side is you have really high morale, so
sure,
that's probably not a huge problem right now.
Yeah.
But as the numbers start failing, your morale starts flagging. It could be a thing that we introduce into the game.
Gotcha. Okay. So of this list, I definitely think what 2 approaches we could use here is one of the questions we should ask, especially because this is a recon mission, so different areas would be important. Does that have a mechanical effect too? That sounds like it should do something with the engagement roll, but
2 approaches. No, it's more it's a good way of kind of cheating into the other questions.
Sure.
It's
oh yeah,
it's right.
Do
so
I get an answer before I can ask the next question? I don't have to be these are the questions I want to ask.
Nope, I will give you an answer.
Okay, is that cool then for the first question?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
and you want that for the recon mission?
Yes.
Okay. So I guess like it's pretty obvious how to recon for a site when you don't know where it is. Like follow along the river and look for it. So like that's pretty much the way to do that piece of it. In terms of, I think, like sabotage, that's probably where you have more choices. So one thing you can do is attack the workforce that's building the bridge. The other thing you could do is like sabotage the like supplies or the construction in progress.
Could we bring out alchemist? This is not a question from the question list. This is me.
You can bring an alchemist.
Yeah.
You could also bring alchemical supplies to do that.
Sure.
Right. If we bring an alchemist, that will hurt our engagement roll.
That's
Okay.
true, because you will not have all legionnaires on the mission.
Oh yeah, because that's right. They're an attachment. They're not.
Right.
They're not an actual legionnaire. Is there a way for us to make them a legionnaire?
We could also spend a horse use to
No.
negate that.
I would say that yes, but that's probably a long-term project to recruit them.
Interesting.
Yeah, or training a legionnaire to be an alchemist or something like that.
Ooh, cool.
Huh.
Or yeah, that would be the other way. It's like
Yeah,
that would be
long-term.
more of a recruit thing. Would be
Mhm.
like when you, or I think it's acquire asset, but we could flavor it that way. So you have -1 legionnaire becomes a alchemist. I would be okay with that.
This game is so cool. Okay, cool. How about threat? Maybe that would be the next question. What's the highest threat we can expect? Oh, I'm gonna post the questions in our chat too. If you guys don't have the book open, it's just so you can see the list.
Yeah, I can
Cool.
see them now. So our bonus question is a level 0 question.
Yeah, so it's just at
Okay.
the level of your intelligence. So it's
Right. So you're
basically
you're saying what's the highest threat we can expect on these missions?
Oh yeah. Does it apply to both? It must apply to both of them then. The wording makes me think it would be both.
yes, yeah. So it would tell you what the risk is on each mission.
Okay.
The only other thing I would say that might be a good question to ask would be what would be a useful item to bring.
Yeah. I think alchemical.
I think you kind of already know that based
Yeah.
on which approach you want to use, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I agree. Highest threat.
Yeah.
Okay, so the highest threat you will face, again, this is pending anybody spending bits on the mission phase to upgrade anyone. But by default, Linebreaker will be threat 2. A bridge too near will be threat 2, and refugee caravan will be threat 1.
Oh, it tells us the one we. Oh, okay, cool. It tells us because
Yeah, it
technically
says-
we wouldn't have chosen by now.
Yeah, right. So it's
Gotcha.
for the missions,
Gotcha.
right?
Okay.
The other one, the
Oh, and this is
two
helpful.
approaches on a mission, where like that means you pick the mission, and I'll tell you the approaches.
This is helpful too because we get XP per the highest threat that we face.
True.
Okay, so cool. Yeah, that's a good point as well. Okay, I have another question. On the secondary mission, do those legionnaires get XP as well?
No. So the way secondary missions work is you roll the engagement roll. The outcome of the engagement roll tells you what happens on the mission. And like, so I think a crit, you automatically promote somebody. On a 6, you promote maybe one person. Or you promote a rookie. 4-5, you have a choice of succeed and lose some rookies or fail. And then 1-3, you lose rookies or you lose squad members and you fail.
Okay.
I think specialists get 2 XP.
Oh yeah, specialists get XP for going on a mission.
Right. And surviving, yeah.
Yeah, but rookies and soldiers do not. Like if you're a squad member, you only get it through like the special promotion path. So like that's why I was saying like you can boost that secondary mission engagement roll and go ahead and like increase your odds of just promoting somebody quickly.
That's interesting, but I'm going to be really annoying about horses and not wanting to spend them on anything except relieving pressure.
Okay, great.
Hold on, I got everything I'm going to say again. Company on the move is a company victorious.
Company victorious.
I can never remember that. I don't know. In one ear, out the other.
Okay,
Can't quite make it out.
so I think stick with the plan: recon, primary, assault, secondary.
Cool. So then let's talk about supplies.
Woo!
Amber, are you going to?
Wait, no, assign first.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Squads.
So, Sally,
But isn't
what
is the engagement not affected by supplies?
it will be, yeah, but you'll assign the squads.
Oh, I'm assigning, not
assign the
right.
squads
Okay.
first. Then we'll choose supplies. Then we'll
roll.
make
Got it.
Rolls. Yep.
Sweet. Okay. So I'm thinking we're gonna send out those ghost owls on this recon because they're stealthy. So should we be playing this out, Shane?
Yeah, let's do this in character.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I'm excited.
The ghost owls. What?
Sorry, I was gonna say, which ghost owl are you calling to assign this mission? Like, who is the actual ghost owl that you're calling before you to give this mission?
Oh, well, I'm not yet. I was actually going to talk to like my fellow command staff to explain, because I want, Mal is very prudent and is going to want the commander and fellow command staff to weigh in as well. The ghost owls did just get back from quite a difficult time. They lost one of their own, but they're the best we've got when it comes to sneaking around. And they might be down one soldier, but I think that the experience brought them closer, and I can tell that they're closer than ever. They seem to be really gelling, and I think that we can just send the 4 of them out and get this done.
Claudette goes,
Oh, sorry.
"Really fine." It's like, yeah, nothing like trauma to really bring us together.
Trauma bonding, indeed.
That the one recruit, Keen Knife, she seems to be taking the loss of her fellow pretty hard. This might distract her, give her something to focus on, so she doesn't sit in her cups as she was last night. I agree.
Yes, I do think it'll be a positive distraction.
My only reservation is that with Amber gone, they don't have a Panyar with them.
Noted.
Yes, I duly noted. Thank you for that contribution. So ghost owls it is. And they're going to need a couple specialists with them. Now, I'm a little worried about Slippery Peter. He is nursing. And I did overhear him talking to the medic and whinging about how it's continuing to hurt. And I'm not sure he's up to the task, but we do have Arun, who's a very accomplished sniper, and perhaps Arun would be a better choice for this mission. What say the rest of you?
We could send them both.
Yeah. So so I have -1 die to my rolls because of my shoulder gash. I'm still pretty good at shooting, and Scrounge is an ability that you just use. You don't roll it, and it lets you find secure shelter.
Yep.
So I think even if I won't be the best scout. Slippery Peter only has 1 scout, but to have that Scrounge spend on a recon mission to like find some place to hide might be really helpful.
So also keep in mind, you only take that -1 die if your harm actually applies.
Oh, sure. So
like
sneak,
for just a general scout, I don't think your shoulder injury would hurt.
Cool.
For a shoot, it definitely would.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Then
like a skirmish, it would hurt, but for a scout, I think you would be fine.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. Then I definitely
unless you're
he's up
scouting in a place where you got to climb.
Yeah, or like crawl or whatever.
Yeah, but the fiction determines that.
And Arun has that eye, which I think will be helpful on a recon mission.
I think Slippery Peter will be just fine. You saw him dancing last night. Didn't seem too hurt.
It's true. He was cutting a rug. Okay, well then, Slippery Peter and Arun it is.
Awesome. More accent.
Can I? I'm really excited about the table that allows you to roll for mission names. Can I do that? Can we name this recon mission?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, sweet. So this mission is going to be called Emerald. That's too bad. Its mission is going to be called Emerald Peak. Mission Emerald Peak. We could have gotten.
Oh, I love it. No. It's like
gotten Wolf.
It's
we
like
got Peak. Okay.
Peak like P-E-E-K. Yeah. Like you got to take a peek.
Oh, okay. That's better.
Okay.
That's better. Oh man, that's so good. Okay, Emerald Peak it is.
P-I-Q-U-E Emerald Peak.
Your emerald peaked.
Oh man, good. Legion has good wordplay. Okay, mission Emerald Peak.
Nice.
Yeah. So, what is the Legion call their like missions? Because I think the book suggests Operation Emerald Peak, but maybe we have a different word that we
yeah.
prefer. I don't know. We can think about it. Doesn't have
Well, yeah,
to be
I
now.
do kind of like Operation : that has been, but we can think about it. Maybe we'll think of something more us.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, let that sink in. We also need to make the assignment for the assault mission to break the enemy lines on the flanking action.
And then even potentially assign the medic to one.
Right.
One or the other,
That's
yeah.
right.
Well, I think it's obvious who's going to go on this assault mission. It's going to be the Ember Wolves.
As
First into the
vanguard.
fray.
Yeah.
I was curious whether this would be the Ember Wolves or the Grinning Ravens.
The Grinning Ravens. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do Grinning Ravens because Ember Wolves were on the front line last time, so maybe they can have a rest.
I was gonna.
And this is like the whole idea behind this mission is kind of like sneak up behind them and attack them suddenly rather than like face them head on and hold the ground.
True.
So
okay,
I think that makes
perfect.
sense.
Yeah. Grinning Ravens it is, and I think we'll send our heavy.
Who is
And then one-
She acquitted herself
Red Raging.
very well. last
Red
time.
Raging.
And then who?
I guess we could send our officer.
Yeah,
'Cause-
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Right?
Officer didn't get.
Because and then the medic can go with either one, right? In addition.
Yep.
Well, what do the rest of you think? Should the medic accompany the Grinning Ravens or the?
So, do we want to
Those
try
cells.
and blow stuff up or kill laborers in the recon mission?
Well, so what is the benefit of assigning the medic to one or the other? The medic gets played if it comes with us.
So more
medic
potential for
doesn't-
more XP if they go with us versus the second
And-
Right.
mission.
The
Versus we play like a rookie or a soldier and give them more XP.
That's true.
Or I guess
Right.
a rookie, we don't have any soldiers.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and there's no benefit to having a medic on a secondary mission except that they get 2 XP if they survive.
Yeah.
But they don't like prevent wounds or
Yeah,
prevent
yeah.
deaths or anything
Gotcha.
like that the way they do when they're playing on the primary mission. So
I mean, above the table, Sally, how would you feel if you're the lone rookie with a bunch of specialists?
That sounds fun.
that works.
Yeah. There we
I
go.
mean, that's fine. with
So
me.
I mean, as a rune, I'm certainly happy to have.
Don't be the other
a medic.
Arun, though.
Yeah, please.
oh.
Yeah. there's
Of
an
the
Arun in
Ghost
the
Owls.
squad.
I'm gonna
Yes.
kill that guy. I'm gonna kill that guy. Does anyone else want to play a rune?
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I guess we could offer it up.
Does
Right.
anyone else want to play Slippery Peter?
Oh, I would love to play
Oh.
Slippery Peter.
Vetoed. You must lie in the bed you've made for yourself, sir.
Oh no, I would do it for you, Rudy.
Thanks, Amber.
I'm naming this operation
Suddenly
too.
becomes like bright and happy and friendly.
No, I would just lean into that. I almost said lean into that. Well, you know.
Well, now it's called
Yeah.
Greasy Peter for some reason.
Grasping Arrow.
I don't know what it is.
This is going to be called Grasping Arrow, Operation Grasping Arrow.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Nice. But I'm open to not playing a rune. If anyone wants the one-eyed sniper, but I'm happy to play him.
I think in the interest of time, because
Oh, good point.
we're already
Yeah.
at 8:30 and we've got. I mean, I
Sure.
want to get the
Yeah.
mission done and going, and then I want to get into the next campaign phase too before we sign off. So,
Let's do it. A
like, I
rune
want to get us
fine.
caught back up. So this is going to be a light mission anyway.
Okay.
So why don't we stick with what we know?
Okay.
And the nice thing about playing the Ghost Owls is that they all have character sheets. So Sally,
Oh,
which
true.
one are you going to play on this mission?
Ooh.
I think I might play the uppity Tatanika keen knife.
Oh, good.
Oh.
Oh, good. We didn't get enough of that like
Her and Slippy Peter.
enmity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a good time.
And the
Perfect.
awkward interactions with the medic.
Oh, right.
She's all right. Yeah.
She is
Yachty.
Oh, yeah?
It's Zenyatta.
standby.
Keen knife, yeah.
Yeah,
Zenyatta
keen knife
all
is
have-
Emyati, yeah. She's a chef before she joined the Legion.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Zemyati are the ones who have long
have, like-
memories for revenge.
They have like special knives too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Commander.
Make a key knife.
I'm trying to think. Did the commander lose his knife while he was captured? Did he lose his other special item that I made up?
No, I think you would have been able to grab that stuff in the room.
Okay, cool.
I think
Have a
yeah.
very
We
special
didn't
item.
really consider that, but I think
Yeah.
that's fine. You can have that with you.
Nice.
Cool.
In the interest of time, are we on to Quartermaster?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do supplies. So, this is a recon mission. So if you equip horses, you will give us a +1 on
The commander is growling at me,
Hmm.
so we will not equip horses, even
I
though
mean-
I think it's against. I mean, I guess we could vote on it. Supposedly, talk about it amongst ourselves.
Well, hey, keep in mind, and this
And it is ultimately your decision.
this
Yeah,
is just
yeah,
a game master speaking here, but like
Yeah.
what the commander wants may not be what's best for the company, and
No.
that's why the company entrusts you as quartermaster.
I think it's imperative that we ride horses.
I think fictionally it also makes a lot of sense because you're kind of coming up to the Western Front from the south, and you have to, like, if we look at the map,
Yeah,
like, you kind of have to like ride east
we are not walking.
front, or west of the east of the Western Front, right? Yeah, so you're gonna have to like kind of ride across enemy lines. Walking seems like by far the more dangerous way to do that.
It's not walking, it's sneaking, eh? Can't sneak on a horse.
How did Slippery Peter get in the command tent?
Get out of here.
He's slippery
He's
his
slipperied
way
in.
right in.
Yeah.
We're using horses.
All right, fine.
We ride.
Okay, cool. So
We're
let's
gonna try
mark
and
those horses and
Steal some
let's
more horses while we're there, though.
Sally, let's build our engagement roll and go.
Okay.
Oh, wait, sorry. Actually, the other thing you can do, Amber, for an assault mission is you can equip
Oh.
Blackshot for the.
Oh yes,
So would you like to
Yes.
do that as well?
yes, I will as well.
Okay.
Oh, do I roll the? Who rolls the engage? That's the marshal, right?
Marshal.
Yeah,
Engage
it's
the roll.
Marshall.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. So yep.
Glad
so,
I don't have that pressure.
All right. So I'm gonna ask my questions now, right?
Yep.
Okay. Are all on the mission oath sworn to the Legion?
Yes.
Okay. Take a die. Did the commander spend 1 intel to give you foresight and info?
He did
One
not.
die. Oh, he didn't. Oh no,
Uh,
someone paid for our intel, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. He
Got
did.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
So spending
are-
the intel, like that's actually like a use of intel specifically to get a +1. That's
Got
not
it.
even asking the
Got
intel.
it. Oh,
That's
okay,
a
okay.
Specific use of intel.
Okay. Is everyone on the mission a specialist or soldier?
Nope.
Oh, because we have rookies?
You have rookies. Yep.
What a buzzkill. Okay.
Yep. Sure
Does
is.
Train him up first.
any legionnaire distrust the leadership or not fear them enough to obey orders on the battlefield?
Yours says fear. That's interesting because the book says not respect the leadership enough.
Oh, interesting.
But either way, I think no. I think you're good.
Okay. Are required specialists or equipment not on the mission?
So
Oh, we didn't
you
look at that, did we? But I think we're fine.
No, it's not. You guys figured it out.
Yeah, I was looking at
recon
it when I
requires a
was
scout
assigning.
sniper. Yeah,
Yeah.
And assault requires a heavy medic or sniper, and you have a heavy on the assault, and you have a scout and sniper on the recon.
Recon.
So, yep,
Okay.
that's no penalty.
So then for recon, I also ask, did the quartermaster spend horses to equip the mission?
Yes.
And is any legionnaire starting with a heavy load? Oh, we haven't done that yet, I guess.
So let's pick load.
Okay.
So don't pick heavy load.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys just decide. Is anybody insisting on heavy load?
No.
No.
I think so.
Cool. Done.
Tatanika's not that uppity.
Yeah.
All right, so just 2 measly dice, huh, for this engagement roll.
Just 2 measly dice.
All right. Big money, no whammies.
Wait, horses give us another
That's a
one?
little bit of a whammy.
That's,
What?
that gave us the second die.
Yeah, the horses were the second.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So that's a 4 and a 1.
Okay.
So 4.
Take it.
That's fine. That's again, this is the one that you're playing out, so you'll start in a risky position.
Oh, true. Okay, okay.
That's all this is. Which is great. So let's talk about that. So we are
Should we change screens now?
we are on the mission.
Oh.
You have been riding for a day or so to get ahead of the Legion. You have dodged a few patrols and some undead troop movements along mainly the road from the bridge to Carlsberg, moving eastward toward the Western Front. And eventually, like, you're able to cross those lines and basically, like, start moving parallel to the river, right? Following it along its way. And you know, like, dodge a couple patrols, and you are able to, like, get to a spot where, like, as you trace along the map, like, it seems like a logical place for it to be. And sure enough, as you approach, you start getting the sense that the patrols in this area are much heavier. Like, there's something here, and even before you can lay eyes on it, you start spotting some of the gaunts and hounds of the of Render's troops that are sort of forming a perimeter kind of patrols, right? Like, there's a couple gaunts. Those are the sort of like armored zombie types, and each of them is holding like, each of those groups has a hound, which you may remember from the last mission, sense people by smelling their breath. They're blind. They have chains that kind of are forced through their limbs, like just kind of straight through their wrist, straight through their bicep, through their leg, these sort of long chains that are held by the gaunts as they kind of march them through what is like sort of it's not really a forest, right? But it's sort of the like stand of trees that kind of line a river, right? You're able to kind of approach the river in that sort of, maybe a few hundred yards from the river without actually being in a proper forest. So, but there's like tree cover around you and things, and you are now spotting those types of patrols that would indicate you are approaching that type of point. And let's say you start risky. So, as you are kind of moving along here, before you have like tied up your horses, let's say, one of them takes a bad step and snaps a branch pretty loudly, and we'll go ahead and start a clock for this. Let's call it an alert clock, which I think has been showing the whole time. So there you go. I forgot to hide it back. Whoops. Yeah, so this alert clock here is now active. As you have made a loud noise with patrols in the area. And remember, your mission is to get eyes on it, get a sense of how long it will take them to complete it, and then sabotage their progress.
Cool.
All
Sorry,
right.
I'm like adding text. So
I think one thing the marshal was supposed to do was decide who was in charge for the mission.
Oh yeah.
And
Yep.
I think it's not going to be Slippery Peter. I don't think that Mal would think that would be a prudent choice. I think it's going to be Arun.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So first, Arun's gonna scan, and then maybe. So noticing things that's research.
That's research.
Or whatever else we can finagle. So he'll actually look over at Azure, the medic, who I believe has good research.
Yes.
And say, let's scan for anything out of the ordinary. I would love for this to be a quick in and out mission, but I have a feeling that Render's troops have some surprises for us.
Okay, got it.
And then Arun will also just like look with his eye so he can see supernatural effects, invisible things, anything like that.
Can Azure potentially climb up a tree or into a tree? That'd be something that I could help with, just narratively. That's what
absolutely.
What she's going to do to scan.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll roll my research. Position.
Are you so?
Oh yeah.
I-Hsien, is Arun helping like with an assist action by
that is spend a
using
stress,
the
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. So yeah, basically he'll climb up with her.
Okay.
And then she's got keener eyes, or she's better at like interpreting what she sees
Right.
than he is. But he'll basically scan. And if he does see anything sort of like magical out of the ordinary, he'll basically describe it to her. So she can be like, oh, I know what that is.
Okay, so I think the way to sort of set this up as like the desired effect here is that, again, you're trying to like get a pattern of the patrols so that you can sneak through to get eyes on the river. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, and then any other like lay of the land or any information that we're here to gather as much information as possible, right?
Yeah, but right now, like you don't have eyes on your target. You're trying to get to your target still, right? So cool. So so I think that's risky standard.
Well, risky.
And I think you've got the +1 from Arun's eye.
5, 5, 6.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
With a risky, that means you do it. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Like you get a sense of the patrols. Like let's say that this is a let's say that was a setup for you to be able to like move through this like kind of stand of trees, right, and actually get into position where you can actually see this construction project. So I'll say that that's successful. No ticks on the alert clock. Nice. And you are now in a controlled position to try and move through this this kind of patrol perimeter.
So Arun will turn to the other specialists. Well, actually, no. We'll gather everyone around. So like Tatanika's in this too, and just be like, all right, owls, I know you can move quietly. Let's see exactly how quietly you can move. So above the table, I don't know. What do you think? A group maneuver or scout action to get into position so we can actually have eyes on the target?
That sounds a group action definitely makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm assuming as part of this you will find a spot further back to tie up the horses, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Great.
So is anyone particularly good at maneuver or scout?
The scout is good at scout.
And I have 1 in maneuver.
Same.
Okay. How good is Peter at scout?
2.
2?
Yeah.
So Arun will point at you, but also like he's
to.
friendly. He's friendly, right? He sort of like raises an eyebrow and is like, "You think you can lead us and these rookies through the terrain?"
I think I could have led this mission, but if that's what the commander of the mission asks, all right, just give him a bit of opinion. Yeah. I wink at you.
Tatanika rolls her eyes a little bit at Dame Milia Martico, her fellow rookie.
I think, or at least you think I'm winking. I'm wearing my Joker laughing mask.
The alchemical eye makes like a very slow, pained shutter close and then opens back up again.
The medic stares off into the trees.
So
let's
all right, so prove it.
Roll their scout.
Should I roll with them?
No, we'll roll the rookies separately, and you can roll for them, but they'll roll 2 dice.
It'll be risky standard
2
again.
dice.
Oh, we're controlled now, aren't we?
Yeah, you're controlled.
Oh, sorry.
And we all have to roll scout, correct?
Wait, so do we all get the bonus die from the setup?
Yes, actually.
Nice.
Controlled.
No, sorry. You don't get a bonus die. You get +1 effect or improved position. So
okay.
the improved
That's
position
the
was the
controlled.
controlled. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Sorry.
Oh my dear God.
Oh, oh God.
Sally?
What happened?
I get 2, right? For the rookies?
The rookies as a group get 2, and then you as Tatanika get whatever Tatanika's sheet says.
Okay, so the rookies got a 3.
Okay.
And Tatanika also gets a 3.
Okay.
Cool.
Ouch. Arun is glad he selected Peter. Arun has 1 die in scout and rolls a 4.
Hey.
Azure has 1 die in scout and rolls a 5.
Okay.
Oh wait, we had an extra die.
Oh wait, that was scout, not maneuver. Ooh, I actually have to roll that at disadvantage. I don't have any in scout.
Wait.
Oh.
Did we get a bonus die or no? I don't think we did.
You did not get
no
a bonus
bonus
die.
But you rolled 2 5s, so.
Yeah.
Amber.
I
rolled
don't
0.
have any scout. I don't have any scout. I have to take the lowest, but I rolled 2 5s,
you
so
rolled
it saves
2 5s.
5.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Gotcha. Sliver Peter rolled a 1 and a 1.
So,
Cool.
Hatsunika, actually, I just rerolled a disadvantage and I got a 5 and a 6. So 5.
5.
Much better.
So when I
Okay.
try and wink at you through my mask, I mess it up and I can't see, but I'm too proud to adjust it back so I can see. And I turn and I fall into the river or something.
Okay, so how many failures were there? 1s to 3 total
One.
rolled.
I think just me.
Just you?
The rookies rolled a 3.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. So that means you take 2 stress for this by leading it, Peter. And then 4-5, you hesitate, withdraw and try a different approach, or else do it with a minor consequence. A minor complication occurs, you have reduced effect, you suffer lesser harm, you end up in a risky position. I think in the interest of trying to keep this moving, I think just moving you down into a risky position, but succeeding
fair.
is probably the best way to do this.
Yeah,
And it's probably risky near the objective.
Yeah, exactly. So like you did not get necessarily in the same controlled spot that you were hoping for, but you are in a spot where a little bit behind you there are patrols, and a little bit in front of you there is now this bridge construction site. You can see it is like a it looks like a sawmill has been like hastily constructed here, not like a mechanized mill, but like, you know, long saws, like saw horses, that sort of thing. And like there are like timbers that have been like that have been felled and are like kind of waiting in a stack. There is actually like kind of finer like wood planks, I guess, that are kind of being like sawed out of some of the timber as well. You see people, humans working. They are ragged. They are like, some of them, they're wearing kind of a variety of clothing, very Aldermani style, right? They're very likely all Aldermani, of various different like qualities, but all of them are dirty, filthy, ragged, like clearly not doing this job of their own will. And around them are some heavily armored, carefully watching, sort of looking more like wardens in a prison than they are soldiers. But there are a couple Knights of the Black Oak.
Oh, the commander hates those guys.
Yeah, he would be happy if we took them out.
Yeah. So then the other thing that you kind of see from this setup is there is like a small like cluster of tents. They are pretty lousy tents. They aren't like even as like lower grade than just infantry tents, right? They are probably for the workers, just the basic shelter. And then there is one sort of, not quite a building, but something of a more permanent kind of tent structure that has like a little bit of like, you know, a little more like wooden structure to it, that looks like has some of the knights moving in and out of it over the course of like 10 minutes, right? So it looks something of like a command building or something.
I brought oil.
I was going to say, is this
very
tent
flammable.
material? Is this tent material being so poor and cheap something that can probably go up in a blaze?
Yes, you could probably light the worker tents on fire.
What about the night tents?
Yeah, the big tents.
All
tents.
I think it would burn. Everything will burn if you try hard enough, but that's going to need that's not going to be tossing a torch on it to burn that, right? Like it's not like thatched or anything like that. Like you would need some type of like alchemical accelerant would definitely get it to light.
I brought oil.
That is
in my utility load.
That is an accelerant. It's good for lubing Slippery Peter, and it's also good for that.
These tents, the workers, you said it's really shoddy. Are they like touching? Do you think if we lit one on fire, they'd all just kind of catch and domino around? Or
if there was a trail of oil from one to the next?
Certainly.
Yeah, like if you it seems like if you threw a couple torches in the area, like they would catch pretty quickly. They would probably be put out pretty quickly too. But like, yeah, I mean, if you start the fire in a couple different places, like it's gonna burn. I mean, they're canvas tents, and they don't look like they've been treated to really be weather resistant or anything like that. The other thing obviously is they are working on a bridge, and what you can see, there are like a similar camp on the far side of the river to this one, and the bridge is being built from both banks. And it is like they are at the point where there are a few of the posts that have been sunk into the river. The river is definitely up, but they're managing to get that, and like they probably have the road top of the bridge sort of extended out, maybe like to the second pillar. So just or like the second pillar out over the water, right? So they are probably like between the two sides, something like halfway, maybe a third of the way complete.
And the bridge is wood, right?
Yeah, it's that's what those timbers are going for. You can see like the posts sunk into the riverbed are like just timber, and then like they have the bigger logs laid across the top of that, and then the planks have been milled to like sit on top of those to like create a road surface for carts and things like that, which is exactly how you have seen those types of bridges built during previous campaign actions. So it looks like a very like military temporary bridge.
All right, so Arun's going to turn to the others and sort of motion everyone to like duck down, but like faces everyone and is sort of like scanning faces to get input from everyone. So potential objectives I see: burn the bridge, kill as many Knights of the Black Oak. Commander will love that, but also I think we will too. And without them, I mean, route the laborers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll take much, but I don't know that we can do all of those things.
So the other thing you're tasked with, right, is figure out how long it's going to take to complete this bridge. So you like before you can burn it down, you should figure out how you're going to determine like how much longer it's going to take.
Maybe that is a rig, a rec, or a research.
Yeah, Azure is taking all this information in, and I could do any one of those except for rec. So research and rig, Azure's good in. And you kind of see her staring and like looking around at stuff. What do you think, Shane? Do you think I should? What makes sense to roll?
To try and figure out.
Yeah, because like I
progress.
think when I think about rig for her, it's not really like she's constructing things, right? It's more like maybe research. Like
you're not like a builder like Red Raging was, right? Where she might be able to like kind of get a sense of that. Like I think kind of given who you have on the mission, I think like to observe them building this like would take some time, right? So if you can get safe for maybe a day, like you could probably like observe it long enough to get a sense of like what is their pace of construction. Yeah.
Could I actually flashback and have a scene where I was talking with Red Raging before we went on?
Totally. Yeah. And I think a zero stress flashback is cool. You now know what to look for to like kind of make that measurement over time.
Because I remember like our last mission, Azure was, or Red Raging was helping Azure try to figure out the lay of the land essentially. Yeah. So I think, she would talk to Red Raging beforehand saying we're specifically looking at this construction site. So
what do you know about bridge building?
Tell me, how many people, how long does it take? Yeah. Okay. So I'll roll research. What would you like me to put for position?
So I think you're in risky position. I guess I'm going to say like the effect will be limited unless you're willing to spend time in this position, like observing it.
So I can find us shelter as well using Scrounge.
Cool.
And Tatsunika has home cooking as a special ability, which can clear stress if we're on a mission that takes
nice
multiple days. Clears one stress. Let me not oversell Tatsunika's abilities. Stress.
Great.
I mean, you have to like cook over like no campfire too, right? To like hide out here behind enemy lines.
Tatsunika makes really good cold raw food.
It's a gazpacho.
Yeah.
Sushi is really big in whatever fake Russia is. I forget.
Surely there was leftover cornbread.
Okay, yeah, no, I love this. So yeah, so spend the scout. I think that's great. You are able to like scrounge either gives you food or shelter, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Secure shelter, yeah.
Yep. And then Sally, how does home cooking work? Is that just you do it, or do you need to roll for it?
I
or?
use my fresh food, which I just realized actually seems like it's only in normal load. Is that right?
I mean, Arun is in normal load.
Yeah, normal load is fine. You just couldn't be in heavy load.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess I will use someone else's fresh food. And I say what I cook. I'm going to take some leftover cornbread and I'm going to fry it up and I'm going to throw some.
No heat, remember.
Here's what Slippery Peter is going to do. He sees some
No
unoccupied tents. And he goes, hey, let's go over here.
What do you do with no heat and cornbread? All right, I'm gonna roll the cornbread in some delicious Zemyati herbs, which I brought with me.
Of course.
I always have dried herbs on me. Never travel without it. And I have a lot of fresh fruit, nice simple carbs for energy, and I have some dried meat. I got some jerky, and that's a meal right there. You got your
perfect.
protein, you got your simple carb, you got your complex carb. What's not to like?
I fucking love it. I love that you are like literally camped like next to their camp and also inside of their patrol. But you're like, it's risky, and we'll find out how dangerous this is. But like, you're eating good either way.
We're eating really good.
So I think everyone will clear one stress. So I think it's
Nice.
probably only Peter who
I think
has
it's
it.
Peter, yeah.
Yep.
Arun had a stress for helping, so.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Cool.
right. Okay.
Yeah. So Amber, then it is you to roll the rig, and
Okay.
let's say if you would like to push on this, you can also reduce your stress by 1 after pushing.
Okay, so pushes for 2, right?
Yeah.
2. Okay, and then I am rolling rig.
So Arun actually will just take that stress again and spend it again, and like scan with you with his
Okay.
everything. So we'll just do that all again.
Okay.
Okay. So,
So-
I'll give you +1 die.
And then my effect went from limited to standard, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And then
Because we
one.
spent time.
Because you spent
Yes.
the time, it went to standard. Yep.
Okay. Submitting. Oh, I forgot to do the extra die for pushing myself. Shit.
Just slash roll d6 is fine.
Right. So you're rolling 3 dice.
I should be rolling 4.
Oh, even better.
Ooh.
Was it 2?
Wow.
So 5, 1, 3, 2.
Okay, so that's a 5. You do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer harm, a complication occurs, you have reduced effect, you end up in a desperate position. I like this a lot.
We would like to choose not reduced effect.
No, yeah, it won't be reduced effect. I don't think harm necessarily makes
I was
sense
gonna
because
say.
we've kind of established that you're safe.
You trip and fall and hit your head.
Yeah, you fall out of the tree.
Slippery
I-
Peter stabs you in the back.
I was gonna say I was squinting too hard to give myself a migraine.
The complication is Tatsunika and Slippery Peter get in the shouting match.
Oh no!
No.
I
I
love
think
it.
I criticize
Oh.
your cooking.
I think you end up in a desperate position. You do it, but you end up in a desperate position. The desperate position is that I want something to accelerate the timeline, right? So the desperate position is you have to move now if you're going to sabotage this. So let's come up with like something as a group that like what occurs as you're observing it.
Did they
That,
bring
like,
in
says-
another shipment of laborers that they've just captured?
Or maybe they build a part of the scaffolding their building is completed and it's a place where they have like a sight line to where we're camped.
Oh.
No, I want to. I would rather accelerate the. Yeah, I would
The
rather
bridge
accelerate
itself.
the bridge itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you've got to get to the sabotage quickly.
So we're looking for something that's like the bridge has been built stronger, or like something that gives us an advantage. What is it exactly we're looking for?
So you're going to end up in desperate position. So basically,
Okay.
I want you to have to spring into action without necessarily having perfectly prepared. Right, is kind of the idea.
They bring in much taller trees.
What if they bring in they bring in an engineer? And this is the first time that you haven't seen anybody, like you've only seen like kind of like the Black Oak coming in and out of this thing, and occasionally a couple workers will go in with a Black Oak and then be walked out with a Black Oak, but you haven't seen the person kind of leading this. And so let's say there is like a something like a sergeant or a corporal or something like that, like one of the more senior Black Oak rides up on a horse from a different direction, right? Not from across the river, or maybe even comes. Let's say that comes across the river in a boat, like paddles across with a human. A human walks out of the sort of command hut. Let's call it a hut, and that person is like, both of these two people are like relatively normally dressed. Like they are not living in the same squalor that the workers are. Right. And like, you can kind of catch pieces of the conversation as you're sort of like watching this. And like one of them is being yelled at for falling behind, and the other is trying to figure out how to make them move faster. But I think, let's say this is the opportunity that's putting you in desperate position. Like your best bet to get this done is to kill them both. Kill the two engineers while they're in the same spot.
Yep.
Right. And if you can like sabotage the workers or like
some stuff on
blow
fire
up the bridge or something, like
right.
all the better. But those engineers, they're looking like prime targets, and you got to move now.
Hey, you brought a sniper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So let's say like you're in a desperate position because this opportunity isn't going to last long.
You said there are 2 engineers?
There are 2. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like there's one from either side, right? And they're like arguing
And
in
they're
front of
talking
a
to each
Black
other.
Oak. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so first thing, we may not need to destroy the bridge ourselves. There are a bunch of laborers. Potentially, they could be convinced to destroy the bridge and then run for it. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's say that this is a flashback that you're having to the night before, the very cold night without a fire, as you were brainstorming what you might be able to do to pop this thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone. That's a possibility, right? If we take out some of the knights, maybe we can convince the laborers to revolt, or maybe we sabotage it ourselves.
Do we have explosive? Didn't see that on load lists or utilities. Is that like a special item we could have brought under our utility, Shane? Could I spend both my utility load to bring bomb?
There is a wrecking kit, but I think only certain characters have access.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have the wrecking kit as a scout?
I do not. That is not an option.
I
have fine compass.
I think it's probably the heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that heavy definitely has it. Yeah.
Could multiple of us use our utility load to take a bomb? Or
Yeah, I think
other people could have taken oil.
Yeah, I have
3
oil
uses
still
of oil
left.
in like for one load you get 3 uses of oil.
so.
Right.
Well, okay.
I have
and-
oil.
Could we have a flashback where we are? I mean, we know that we have to destroy this bridge, right? So I feel like maybe we would have like planned to bring something.
Yeah, I think you can flashback for free that somebody spends like their the double utility load to get like alchemical bomb,
okay.
right? And like that is specifically designed for a bridge. You have an alchemist for a reason,
Yeah. Cool.
right? So I
Thank
think
you.
that's
One of those
reasonable.
bridge
Yeah.
bombs you
Yeah.
hear about.
Classic bridge bomb.
Classic.
Classic.
Well, I mean, what it is it's like it's an alchemical substance that like bonds tightly to wood, right? So that it'll actually like burn. It's napalm. Let's just call it.
Yeah, because we finished those other long-term projects previously.
Yeah.
To develop napalm.
Flashback.
It's canon now. We have napalm.
You have one napalm. You had napalm.
All right, so our tentative plan is we're gonna napalm the bridge.
And shoot
kill
the
the
engineers.
engineers,
Is
yeah.
that right? And punish the working class. Is that what I heard? Set their
We're
tents on
gonna.
fire.
I think we should arm the laborers because I don't know. Does anyone? I have 2 weapons, so we could. Everyone could give them an extra weapon. And
Well,
we could
but they
just be
have
like,
they have laboring tools, right? They've
Oh,
got,
true. They got trowels and
probably they have
such
probably
like.
a forge and,
And
yeah, all
it's
that stuff.
definitely forced labor, right? This is not like
Oh, you can tell. I mean,
Okay,
yeah,
I know
you've been
the
observing
curves are
for
there,
long
yeah.
enough that they are being forced to do
Although
this.
the
yeah.
engineers maybe not, they seem to be well taken care of.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do they
So
have
shoot them.
crests or anything showing that they're loyal to any or to Render or any of the or Breaker or
Give
their
me
uniforms?
give me a fortune roll.
Oh, fortune roll.
Hmm.
Just
Let's
1d6.
do a D6, yeah. I have rolled a 1.
Okay, would you like them to be loyal?
I don't care.
Well, then why did I roll fortune?
I
think
I don't remember.
let's say yes, they are
Okay.
loyal to like they
Like
have,
they can't be turned. They can't.
They
They
have-
can't convince them. They don't feel.
they have a badge of they have Render's badge,
Okay.
which is of course a red hand, like an open handprint, like on a skull, which is actually what Render looks like. If you have heard the rumors, he has like a burnt handprint across his face.
Okay. So I'm just nervous about shooting your sniper gun at them because it'll make a lot of noise. Unlike
Okay, so
this
here-
silent bow I
So,
have.
so here's the thing. Oh yeah, I mean, bow is a good backup, right? They're just
Well,
regular.
you could shoot
dudes.
them
There are
both.
2 of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They're just regular guys, right?
Yeah.
So maybe somebody gets in position to napalm
Well,
the bridge.
They just have badges, not armor or anything on, right?
Well, so that's
No,
what
they
I'm
are
saying.
they are definitely guys.
It's 2 guys arguing. I have the aim ability, which increases effect. I don't need extra effect against a guy, but extra effect might be a through and through,
Oh.
where I kill 2 guys.
There you go.
Oh.
Trick
okay.
shot
All right,
is one
all
of the
right.
things listed under shoot. So
The old through and through.
I like it. You're in desperate position. This is going to turn out great.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's very loud. The
All right.
sniper rifle is specifically quite loud.
I'm gonna shoot bow anyway because I'm Slippery Peter, and I'm gonna tear my mask off after.
But we're gonna coordinate, right? Who's setting bomb
Right.
All
and
right.
who is arming or who is causing the laborers to revolt. This is great for
Well, hang on. Keep in mind, we don't plan in Band of Blades,
Yeah.
right? Like the action is we are going to take the shot. It's a desperate position. We'll
Yep.
find out what happens next.
All right.
Like
get-
certainly you might have to flashback or you might lose the opportunity or whatever, but we're in desperate position. We're taking that shot. We'll figure out what happened.
Very cool. All right. Step 1. It is a desperate action, so I get XP and prowess.
So do we want to like Rudy, would Slippery Peter be using his bow as an assist to like try and like confirm a kill or something like that?
No, he wants to shoot too. He wants to show up Arun after fucking up earlier
God, I
and
love
not
it.
being chosen to be the leader of the mission.
You know what?
I love it so much.
It's good to have a backup.
This is why you're not a leader.
the-
I was
Warm
gonna
heart.
say you might be like, I'm gonna go take the shot, and Slippery Peter will slippery behind you out of sight, and he is also going to take the shot without talking to you about it first.
I love it. This is
Ash.
The
delightfully dysfunctional.
Mal's
Shush.
definitely going to hear about this.
Yeah, Azur's just like, just shoot already.
All right. So again, XP for taking a desperate action. 3 dice on shoot. I'm going to push.
Okay.
4th die. And then I'm going to spend aim for increased effect. So this is
What
desperate.
is
And
put-
what is my effect? Oh, good.
sorry? Push is 2 stress.
To
Yes.
do stress, yeah.
So,
What is my effect before aim?
So this is just standard effect, right?
Okay,
It's
so-
desperate standard because you're shooting people.
So this will push it to great, which I would like to kill 2 birds with 1 bullet.
Right.
Okay.
Wonderful. All right, 4 dice. Here we go.
can I roll 2? I'm rolling 2, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. No, I want to do it
All right.
exactly the same time he's doing it.
Okay. This is
Like I hear his gunshot, then I shoot.
so
Okay.
delightfully dysfunctional. All right.
The sound of my gunshot covers the sound of your arrow. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna spend.
Well,
I'm
hang
gonna
on.
push
So
it.
here's
All right.
here's what I want to do here. Like
Okay.
I want you to assemble your dice pool, Rudy.
Yes.
And we're both going to roll it. We'll
Okay.
reveal I-Hsien's first,
Okay.
and then we'll find out if you helped in any way.
Okay. Cool. I'm going
And
to
that
push
does
myself.
not preclude you from saying you helped in
Yes.
whatever way you want.
So I have -1 because my shoulder's fucked up, and then
Yep.
I'm going to give myself 1 to balance it out by pushing myself.
By
because
pushing,
man,
okay.
do I want to show up a rune.
Okay, so that puts you
Cool.
back at 3.
Yeah.
At 3, yeah.
So, what did you get, I-Hsien?
All right. So I rolled 4 dice, and I
Okay.
got a 2, a 2, a 3, and a 5.
Ah.
Okay,
All
so
right.
it's desperate. So you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer
Yes,
severe harm. A serious complication occurs. It's not going to be harm because
Right.
there's nothing like immediately around you. So think about a complication. Rudy,
Yes.
what did Slippery Pete get?
So he has rolled a 4, a 5, and a 2.
A 4, a 5, and a
so
2.
five.
So you
Alright.
do it, but there's a consequence. You
Yes.
suffer severe harm. A serious complication occurs.
So I think the shot complication is pretty obvious. It's very loud. It alerts somebody who is bad.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So we will take the alert timer fully for that because it's severe.
Yeah, it is severe.
Whoa.
They've been alerted.
Yeah, they don't necessarily have your location, but they know that you're here. Obviously, that gunshot was not approved. Cool. And then Rudy, you also have severe harm or a serious complication. I am interested in serious complication because that will definitely tick the alert, but I want to know why. An alternative is severe harm is a level 3 harm. We could say that like using your bow like this has like really rent open the wound on your shoulder.
So
And we'll upgrade that to a 3.
my harm would be reduced because of my panther-like grace,
Oh, okay.
which would give
So
me a
it's a level 2 harm.
second level 2 harm.
Okay. Dislocated shoulder, maybe?
Sure. I dislocate my other shoulder because I'm relying so much on it. The strength
Yeah.
from that one.
Okay.
What happens
Nice.
when you have 2 of the same level harms? I don't even know.
S1D, right?
Each one that applies will minus 1d.
Oh, okay.
So
They
if you're
both-
using
okay.
your left arm, you're going to take minus 2.
My left or my right arm.
Okay.
It's one or the other.
Okay,
We don't know which.
I dislocated. Okay, I got stabbed or I got halberded on my left arm, and now I've dislocated my right arm.
Let's say sprained.
Sprained?
Sprained makes
Okay,
more sense.
sprained.
Yeah.
No no one is helping you with arm stuff.
That's true. I can't even point.
So my big question: did a rune kill 2 engineers with 1 bullet?
You succeeded, yes.
Yes.
And with the extra effect. So
Nice.
yeah, so you are to put this in mechanical terms, right? Like you are threat 2, you had increased effect, which made it 3. So would be 3 harm going at 2 of them. So I think that's fine. Alternatively, we could have called them a small group and like scale would have reduced the harm, but they still would have died. So I think either way you got it. Yeah, you got them both. Like there are 2 humans. Whether they're dead or dying, they are certainly lying on the ground in a pool of their own blood.
With
They're
arrows
not
sticking out of
engineering
them.
anything.
With arrows sticking out of them as well.
You're right.
Oh yeah, and then one of them also has an arrow in the chest.
Oh my god, we're gonna argue forever who killed that second guy.
Oh Lord.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
It's
perfect.
going to be such a good back at camp scene.
Yeah. And Arun will be like, well, I mean, they were headshots.
All right. I mean, you have an alert clock that is definitely ticking. You have like the immediate result, right, is like the Black Oak ducks. The workers flee, like they scramble in just random directions almost. Like there is chaos, and the Black Oak immediately like grab like whistles. Some of them just like put their fingers in their mouths and whistle, but like they like immediately call to raise an alarm. They don't know exactly where you are. That's what the alert clock is indicating, but they know that you're here. And in the distance, you hear hounds braying.
Like dogs or like the monster hounds?
Oh, monster hounds. And
Okay,
it
cool.
sounds like humans braying like dogs.
Cover your mouths.
It's truly awful.
Peter says, "Cover your mouths."
Yeah. Put on masks.
And you're in a desperate position, and you still need to. I mean, I don't know. Do you think your mission accomplished here, or
No, we need to destroy as much of the
Yeah, we have this napalm.
infrastructure / bridge as we can.
love it? So
Can I
who's doing that?
I just want to say that Tatsunika is going to help Slippery Pete put on his little mouth thing, but kind of to be helpful, but because his arms are all wonky, kind of to be helpful, but also to kind of like dunk on him because he's the one who gave the order to cover our mouths, but he's like not capable of doing it right now.
I flail.
It's like a light dunk.
Do you also tie it like really tightly?
Yeah, I'm like, how's that?
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah, Azure is concerned about Peter's arm situation, but doesn't show it. Trying to decide right now, looking towards Arun, what are we doing right now?
Finish the mission. Take out the bridge, and then meet back at the place that we decided on.
Horses.
Horses.
Horse City. Got it.
Yeah.
Who has the napalm bomb right now? I think it would be great for this.
I took it.
Well, I mean, Tatanika just
Flashback. I go, here, you take this while I kill the engineers.
I don't think I need a flashback. No, you can't stop anybody from just taking it from me.
I'll turn to Tatiana because she's the one of the owls that I recognize and go, take this, do what we came here for, destroy that bridge.
So, Tatanika, are you going to do this alone, or
I-
are you going to bring your squad with you?
I'm definitely bringing a squad because I definitely, mechanically speaking, I don't think Tatsunika is capable of pulling this off.
Of pulling off the rig?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I mean, tell me what skill you'd like to use, right? What action you'll be using for this? Because I think like you've got a couple different things. You've got to maneuver down there, like you've got to
yeah.
is the challenge of this action getting there in this shuffle? Is the challenge of this action getting it in the right spot so when it explodes, it maximally affects the bridge? I would say you could take kind of either approach, right? But it's
Okay.
desperate either way.
Marshaling
think-
the rest of your squad to like push through it and get this done, or
True.
Right, yeah. You could just lead them, which is like martial, or you could like
yell at them.
browbeat them, which is discipline, into doing
Yeah.
this, you know?
Okay. Well, I do have a 1 rank in discipline and not in anything else that's useful. So I think, no, maybe maneuver to just get us to the bridge as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I'm trying to think. I think I will push myself.
Cool.
And
And this is, are you leading? This would be lead a group action, right?
yeah.
Cool.
Wait, let me just mark the. Okay. What else can I do for some more dice?
Devil's
Somebody
bargain.
can assist you. You could Devil's Bargain. Devil's Bargain would be an automatic outcome.
Wait, what is the medic doing? Is the medic going with
Well,
them? Or
I was going to turn back to heal Peter because I don't want him to go back to camp with 2 levels of harm. But
I mean, Arun will say like, not as an order, but just be like, don't worry about him.
I think, yeah, and also like just in the interest of like Amber getting you involved in the action, you can always just flash back to that
okay,
because medic is just use it. You don't roll for that.
yeah.
So like
okay.
you could always have flashback to like stabbing him with or popping a one of your like mushroom pills into his mouth to like
Okay.
numb the pain or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
like I think we can take care of that if it's necessary
Okay.
with a flashback. Let's get you in the action.
Okay, that's fine. I guess I could lead the maneuver. I don't know. I have a maneuver ability, 1 in it. So
Yeah, I have 1. Tatsunika also has 1. So
I
one
mean-
of us could lead and one of us could help.
I feel like this is Tatanika's moment, right?
yeah, it is.
It's
Yeah.
Tatsunika's moment to shine. Okay.
So, but Amber, I think, sorry, what's her Azure could definitely like help, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
you could. I think it's fair for you to assist in this by
Yeah.
like going with them and being like, let's go.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think
Okay.
that's fair. So that would give, I think, increase
That's
effect,
3,
right?
right?
Well,
Instead of a
No, I'm sorry. Assist gives you the die. Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
And then Azure takes 1 stress.
So Azure will take 1 stress to assist. You will
Okay.
take 2 stress to push. And if you would like, we can talk about a devil's bargain.
This whole thing already feels like it's kind of like a devil's bargain. So I'm just gonna keep it to the 3.
Fair enough.
Okay.
The collateral damage.
I got 2 6s.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh shit! And that's a desperate action. So mark XP.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Heck
about
yes.
Yes, Tatanika. Yes.
Yes. I knew I chose you right.
We're such a good team. Tatanika and Azure. Teamwork makes the dream work. Makes the
corn.
fridge
It's
blow
the
up.
It's the cornbread that you
The
brought.
cornbread.
Cornbread.
It made Azure see you.
No,
See-
it's actually-
really see you. Or see
it's-
Tatanika.
It's flammable. Is actually the
Yes.
cornbread. Yeah.
That good old combustible cornbread.
So you do it with increased effect, which of course is going to mean that like as soon as this bomb goes off, right? Like it's alchemical. So let's say like you have to like mash a plunger, so two glowing substances kind of combine and like swirl around and like start to like as they're turning to a black color, like that's the ticking timer on it, and that gives you enough time to get clear. And when it explodes, like oh boy, does it explode! Like you got it in a spot where like not only does the bridge go up, but let's say like it casts off a little bit of the like fire into the tents and the command hut. So it's really made a mess of the whole situation.
In a good way, right? A
great
good mess. Nice.
in a fantastic way. Except you are still in a desperate position because it was not one of the effects of this outcome. And now I'm going to go ahead and say, like, they know where you are now. They know where all of you, they've clocked all of you. So you now just need to get out of here.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I say we double back to Horse City.
Then
Yes.
ride.
Should we burn some tents on the way just to?
Oh, they're on fire. The napalm
Oh,
pretty much, the alchemical napalm pretty much covered that.
Nice.
I'm going to say that, like, Amber Raging Blaze, when she was still with us, she did this thing where she would hoot like an owl, like, because it was like this fun thing she did because she's a ghost owl.
Uh-huh.
And in memory of her, when Tatanika leads the like bridge explosion and the rookies start cheering, they'll start like hooting, kind of in memory of Amber Raging Blaze.
So it's like a very like whoo.
Yeah, it's the
Like-
gentlest of victory cries. Yeah,
It's not like a screech of a barn owl or anything.
that would have been way better. Retcon, that happened.
Flashback.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I think this is probably one roll, right? Like one action to get out of here, and now like they know where you are, so there is a real risk of harm to the group. So like, how are you trying to get back to the horses? Like we could do this as a group action or individually. Like how do we want to kind of resolve this? But or put it another way, who's going to lead the group back to it? Like kind of like split up, go that way, go this way, right? Like whatever it is, get everybody back to the horses.
Right. So like in the fiction, like we're running in and retreating. But a rune will be basically like running and shooting.
Okay.
Pot shots, basically.
Yeah. Because I mean, you're gonna have like patrols, kind of like wandering gaunts, as well as hounds that are trying to like catch up to you, right? So I think this is a sort of a scrambled fighting retreat. I think that makes sense. So yeah. So who's gonna lead the group through this, and what action do we want to use? I think
Maneuver.
shoot probably doesn't work, but like maneuver. Obviously command or discipline. Skirmish actually I think makes a lot of sense if it's like a fighting retreat.
Anyone particularly good at those?
No.
Well, don't keep
not,
in
then-
mind it's just who takes the stress for it.
Yeah.
Because everyone's rolling the same skill regardless.
Oh, right.
So who narratively who feels like the leader for this fight back to the horses?
Sally, how's everyone looking?
Let's see. Azure and Slippery Peter and Arun are looking equally stressed. And Tatanika is looking slightly less stressed. And then of course we have Slippery Peter has got his like dual shoulder injuries.
Okay. I mean, so then unless anyone else steps up, then Arun will sort of like sigh, look around and be like, all right, follow me. And then let's just hope he doesn't trauma out.
Cool. I love it. You can always resist the consequence. No, you can't. Not on a group action.
Well, Tatanika has one less stress than you if you want her to like.
Hell yeah, the rise of Tatanika.
Yeah,
Yes,
she has the naive hope, which is
Okay.
one of the things she takes in her light load.
Oh.
So
Oh.
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
get
so
that.
let's do this. Arun is like, okay, I've got to do this. I got to lead him out. This is my mission. And he looks at Tatanika, and she seems like she's so fired up. She's like ready to do this. And he like removes one of the rings on his thumb. And, it's like dusted in soot, right? So it doesn't like give away his position. And he like hands it to her and says, "That was impressive work, and I think you've still got some more in you. Think you can get us home?"
Oh, that's like a Barton gift.
Yeah, exactly.
good. Yeah, so Tatani's gonna take the ring and she's just gonna just locking eyes with Arun, is just gonna do her barn owl screech from the retcon, and then turn around and put her saber into the air and just like run screeching.
Nice.
Fuck yes.
So okay, cool. Yeah.
Cool. Let's roll. I think this is still a desperate group action, right? Like you guys are now kind of split in different places, and like the thing is on fire and everything. Like everyone knows where you are. This is a desperate kind of fighting retreat, but fucking let's do this.
So how does the desperate action XP work in a group action? Does everyone get it? Or
Oh,
does
that's
one
interesting.
person?
I think it's the person who leads the
Leading?
group action is
makes
taking
sense.
the action. Yeah, so I think that will go to Tatanika.
Okay.
Nice.
So are we doing? Do we say what action we're doing?
I think it's up to you.
Well, skirmish or maneuver would be good for Tatanika.
Skirmish would be better for Arun.
Yeah, I think everybody has some type of skirmish, right?
Okay. So I'm taking how many stress just to roll?
None.
Just to lead. I'm in to lead.
It's
So you
fails.
It depends on how many fails. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you take one
Oh,
stress
oh,
per
okay.
failed roll of
Okay.
the group. Yeah.
All right. So in that case, can I push on a group roll?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I think I might do a devil's bargain because this is kind of like feels like this is like the finale of the mission.
Okay, so the devil's bargain is going to be harm, no doubt. You are going to you are going to make sure that everybody gets out ahead of you, right? So you'll take harm for sure.
Okay.
And we'll
Love
call it. These are all like, well, I mean, there are the Knights of the Oak. Let's call it level 2 harm.
Okay. I think it feels good about the odds.
Cool.
You can hurt your arm too. We'll be twins.
Oh God, Tatsunika and Slippery Pete stuck in the medic bay.
I got 2 6s again.
Whoa!
Oh
What
my
a game!
God.
You roll everything from now on. Sally's the
Alright,
yeah.
lead roller.
So we're guaranteed a critical, but everybody else needs to roll to see how much stress Tatsunika takes in the process.
So we're doing desperate, correct?
Yes.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, so that's 1 stress for Tatsunika.
Okay.
Arun is still getting used to not leading. He's not great at following right now. I rolled a 1.
Oh, 2 stress for Tatsunika. He is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I think I take a trauma because my stress track is filled.
No, it's fine if it's filled. If you go to
If you
7,
take-
it's a trauma.
Well,
Yeah.
so I am at 7. So those
Oh.
2 put me at 7.
Wait, I thought you only had 2 stress.
I had 2, but I pushed myself.
Oh.
And then
And
I
the-
took 1 from whoever rolled before you. Or 2.
So-
I took
so
2 from
you're
whoever rolled before you.
No, you only
Wait, no,
did
you-
1 per fail.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay, so let's go back. You're at 4
Okay.
stress. All right, we'll count the total stress that you take first.
Okay.
Okay, so we got 2 failures. Rudy, what do you have?
I also failed. I rolled a 3.
Oof. Okay, that's it.
I did
And
two.
then
I
I
just
will.
lower.
So I will say you may not have wanted to push on this because in a group action, only one person needs to succeed. Although you had the double.
But she got the
double
crit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the rookies also failed.
Ooh.
So-
You're gonna leave a mark.
There's gonna be
You took
one hell of
all
a
the
party
stress.
for you when we get back. All right? So
I
don't
mean,
worry, we're gonna
I think
use
this
that
is
stress.
actually really cool.
Uh,
Oh my god, she dies.
She doesn't die. What are you talking
No.
about?
Rookies have 1 trauma.
Oh wait, hold on. I get to. I have a.
No,
Oh
she
no,
doesn't.
that's ignore level 1 harm penalties.
Yeah, so she takes the trauma and then she's still alive. She doesn't die at a trauma, right?
No, I think right.
Let me
You
see.
normally your second trauma you die, right?
Trauma. Yeah, you go out of the
die,
game
but-
essentially. Yeah, it's like you're no longer
Yeah.
functioning.
So if
You can't
rookies
function.
trauma, they die.
Oh no.
That's not great, but you win some, you lose some.
Aw,
No,
She went out- she went out
to like her.
I know, me too. I was getting really into her, but she went out sort of heroically. Wait, is
did.
that? Are we for sure? That I mean, that does sound right.
Trauma. So die. You don't die, but you.
I mean,
no,
you're-
hang on. It's no rookies. Rookies have a trauma to take, and like specialists and soldiers have 2 trauma to take. The third one
The
trauma.
Oh,
third
so
to
the
one
third
kills.
one's the killer.
Yeah, so the second
defeater?
trauma is the killer. Yeah, a rookie
Okay.
can have a
Okay.
trauma and
All
then
right.
still progress. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm all for killing characters, but not this time.
So how does that work? Does the stress does the track like reset after
Mhm.
you?
Yeah, so the track resets and then you take the overage, right? So
Okay.
you were at 4, you took 4
right.
because everybody else failed.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you would now be at 7 is the trauma, so you're at 1.
Okay.
Wow.
And then normally you just be well. Do you count anymore? Because normally she'd be out of the scene, but like the scene's basically over.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. No, you're actually at 0 trauma. Right. So like basically like you succeeded, you critted, you got everybody like fighting retreat. Let's say like which one of the rookies with you like fell behind, like had a no, okay. All right, fine. It was Arun. Arun fell.
Yeah.
Arun Khatri fell. And as a hound was like running up and like leaping on him, right, to like take him out, like you rushed back in with your what does she use?
She
What is her
has
weapon?
a
Knife, obviously.
yeah, she has her special chef's knife, but that's like her little memento that she keeps on her.
Okay.
Her weapon is a saber.
Oh, okay. So with her saber, right, and like fights it off. And like it's a messy kind of like bloody, like scratching sort of rolling in the dirt kind of melee, but ultimately like you get enough of your saber into it. And let's say like you finally have to use your chef's knife even like kind of knife it through the neck to put it down permanently.
Oh.
And then like, but that gets Arun back on his feet and you're able to get to the horses and start riding. And let's say like you make it like an hour up the road and you're like, oh shit. And like, that's where you collapse in your saddle.
The adrenaline dump
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get to pick a trauma.
Well,
Yeah.
sweet
so-
dreams.
Oh, Slippery Peter, even with his injured arms, rides up next to Tatanika and helps her up as she kind of loses control of her body. 'cause
Wait,
she's
was
so
it,
stressed
hang
out.
on.
Oh.
Flashback. Was it Arun or was it Slippery Peter?
Oh,
Oh,
Oh.
the Slippery Peter.
It's Slippery Peter, right?
Definitely,
Yeah,
yeah.
you saved
Definitely.
Slippery Peter. Yeah.
Gotta be slippery, Peter.
I have to get over a fence and I can't quite do it with my injured arms, and I trip.
Yeah, you trip and fall. You can't get back up.
Tatsunika just fireman carries him.
Oh,
The-
yes. Oh, that's awesome. So I don't think your trauma is going to be soft. Let's start there.
Okay, fair enough.
Mm.
oh, reckless. Hmm?
Oh,
Yeah, I was thinking maybe
You think
reckless,
you're-
maybe unstable.
I mean, it could also be vicious, like
Mm.
going kind of
You've
like
got the blood rage. You've killed for the first time, or maybe
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
first time, but
like the kind of like filled with that sort of like joie de vivre of combat.
yeah, solve the
The
problem
joie de
by
vivre of
killing things.
war.
Yeah, it's called a war boner.
Horny for
Murder.
military action.
Horny for combat. Or I mean, maybe that experience haunts you,
Hmm.
right? Like maybe like that being that close to death, right? Like kind of staring it in the eye again. I don't know.
Hmm.
What makes sense to you?
I think maybe unstable.
Okay.
Is that maybe that's kind of boring? I don't know. I'm torn. Do I have to decide now?
No, we can wait. Like, let's kind of see how the back to
Okay.
camp stuff plays out. And like,
Okay.
we can- yeah. But make sure
Okay,
you
yeah,
mark
that would be cool because maybe something will happen there that'll
Yeah.
influence her.
just make sure you mark the trauma so that we don't lose it, and we can
Cool.
always name it later. Cool. All right, so we are back. So we'll do the wrap up on the mission. We did not take a break at all in here.
We did not.
But I feel like if we push through, we can finish and get back
It's
on
what
track.
Tatanika would want.
let's do this.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about XP first. So let's go through everybody's XP triggers.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
All right, I'll just jump in again. Okay, so I rolled a desperate action, so I got an XP in prowess. And then if I survive the mission, 1 XP. Help the squad through keen observation or keen shots. Yes.
Definitely.
Brought into play your heritage or trauma. Yep. A Barton token was extended.
That was good.
And then per highest threat of opponent faced. Is that a 2? They were
Ooh,
there.
They were there. Yeah, that's fine. Let's call it a 2. I won't walk that back.
Boo.
Yeah.
So that's 5. Yep, 5 for me. Or 5 for Arun.
Cool. Is that going to level you up anywhere?
I think that will probably finish out the prowess clock, although I'm also eyeing special abilities, which it won't fill up.
Okay, cool.
I can go next. I did not roll any desperate actions. I did survive the mission. You helped your squad through medical knowledge or emotional comfort. I didn't really get to do anything medical this time
No, you
around.
doctored Peter.
Oh yeah, it was
I
flashback.
think that's fine. Yeah, we can flashback to you doctoring Peter
Oh,
for that.
cool.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
one of my
Poke,
harms
poke.
gets reduced.
no,
No,
it's
just
just
ignore
use
the
for
effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I didn't want to penalize you for XP for me telling you to wait for a flashback if it's necessary.
I was like,
Seems unfair.
if you brought into play your heritage or trauma, I climbed a tree. Will you allow it?
Because you're a Panyar?
Yes.
I mean, you tell me. It feels
I
a
mean,
little
that's-
racist for Panyar, but maybe
Well,
that's a Panyar thing.
That's literally what I was thinking when I was like, I want to get vantage point, and this is what I would have done in the forests.
I think.
I
I
what's
think
her
that's
animal trait?
She has
cat eyes, right?
cat eyes. Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
definitely used your
I
cat
think that-
eyes.
I think
you were
that-
looking the whole time.
Yes. That's all I did
Yeah.
was look. I stared.
It was a recon mission.
Yes. And then 2 for the threat. So that's 5. I'm gonna fill my special abilities clock because I had 2 left,
Nice.
and I'm getting chemist.
Ooh.
Oh, good. So that means you can use the special alchemicals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And then I'm gonna figure out what to do with this extra 3.
Extra 3.
Oh, I had 5. I had
extra XP.
my extra 3 XP that I have left over.
Cool.
Okay. That's me.
Cool, Scout. So did that desperate action where I shot the guy too have even effects, or no? I don't remember. Did you fold both of them in, or was that just a funsy for fluff kind of thing?
No, I think you suffered the consequence of it,
Oh,
right?
you're right. Yeah, I did.
So
Okay,
I think
yeah,
you
I
rolled
forgot.
it for sure.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
The thing was, like, it was a backup maneuver.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so, like,
I could have missed.
yeah.
yeah.
It wasn't okay. Cool.
So yeah, no. I think you did it, and you took the consequence. So
I did.
that
yeah,
happened.
okay,
Yeah.
Cool. 1 XP for surviving the mission. Help my squad through stealth or foresight. I failed all my rolls to try and help the squad through stealth or
You
foresight.
tried to help the squad.
Well, it doesn't say
Stealth or
tried
foresight.
to help the squad.
Well,
It
the
says
book the
help
book
the
says
squad.
the book says if you as long as you rolled it.
Okay.
Right, yeah,
Okay.
as long as you engage it.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I'll get for that. Really didn't play into my heritage at all. Again, probably need to work on that.
Really, you were pretty slippery.
I slipped a lot, if that's what you meant. Slipped into the river. Slipped trying to escape over a fence. But
Yeah, but like, I mean, I think when I think of Orites, like I
Yeah.
think more of like the social kind of
Yeah.
like aspect of it, and I don't know that you really.
all right, Scout's probably not the best combo, but whatever.
Oh, that's all right. It is what it is.
Once we get to the cities, if we get to the cities,
Right,
maybe
exactly.
I'll play into that a bit
Yeah,
more.
recon mission in a city would make more sense.
Yeah,
So,
and then you said 2 XP for the threat, right?
correct.
It's cool. So I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think, yes, I will be able to fill up my... Oh, no, I won't. No, wait. I will. I'll be able to... No, I won't. I won't.
The will they, won't they?
I will not. I am very close to filling up my insight bar, but not quite.
All right. Tatsunika Keen Knife, hero of Operation Emerald Peak.
Okay, Tatsunika. So I think I did 2 desperate actions, right? Because there was the bridge and then, okay.
Yep.
So that's 2 of those jams. And then if you helped your squad by staying out of the way or surviving despite the odds, if you brought into play your heritage or trauma, and my heritage traits are for Zemyati are tough and stubborn.
Well, you cooked for us, though.
Yeah,
Is that
I think
heritage or...
Yeah, that's your.
And I was
character?
tough,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah, and you definitely like
stubborn.
and definitely surviving against the odds as you ran in desperately to like plant a bomb.
Right.
Right.
And per highest, which was threat, which was 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5.
Big XP.
Yep. So 5 was the maximum XP plus the 2 for
The
desperate.
And those go in the
Specific,
attribute
yeah.
for what? Okay, cool.
The desperate ones too, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do. Do I have to decide now what I'm doing with those?
No, you don't.
Okay, cool. I just don't want to take up time because I'm gonna obsess about it for a little while.
Yeah, no, we'll fix that. I think what's clear is you need 8 in order to promote to soldier, and you did not get enough for that.
Very quickly, I'll say so. Arun is going to finish out his prowess clock, and actually, I think this makes sense. He's going to take his first dot in rec.
Ooh.
Nice. Yeah, he's like, if I'm going to do more of these recon missions, like it's good to know how to do this stuff, and I think I learned a lot.
Nice. You saw how to do it, huh?
Yeah, and also it looks fun.
Totally ninja. Okay, cool. So then we will go ahead. Let's go ahead and resolve the secondary mission, which was the assault on Render's lines at the Western Front, Operation Grasping Arrow.
Hell yeah.
So we can quickly assemble that.
Okay.
Pool.
Are all the mission oath sworn to the? Wait, sorry. Is this? Yeah, this is for.
Yeah, that's correct. That's
right. Okay. They are okay.
They were.
Did the commander spend 1 intel to give you foresight and info?
He did not.
Is everyone on the mission a specialist or soldier?
Nope.
Does any legionnaire distrust the leadership or not fear/respect them enough to obey orders on the battlefield?
Nope.
Are required specialists or equipment not on the mission?
No.
Okay, and then did the quartermaster equip the soldiers with black shot?
She did.
Booyah.
He did. No, wait.
Claudette.
Yeah, Claudette.
Is any legionnaire starting the mission wounded?
No.
No, I think because the only legionnaire was with a wound was
Silver Peter.
Wait, did Red Raging have a wound actually? No, I don't think so.
No, Red Raging doesn't have a wound, and neither did Ananika. So no, you're good.
Sweet. Okay, so that's 2.
2.
2 sixes?
5.
Oh, okay.
5 and a 1.
Had to run out eventually.
Yeah.
So 5
That
is
still great.
5 is good. You get a choice. You can either fail, or you can succeed, but some of the rookies will die.
2 squad members die, and all specialists take level 2 harm.
Whoa.
Ooh, yeah.
So it's a pretty heavy
So
cost to pay.
The benefits from the assault weren't really...
It was +2 morale, +1 supply.
So we don't need the morale at all. We had
That's
full
true.
morale. And
Right.
Amber, or Claudette.
We
We could use the supply.
we
But-
could
but
we could
may not
always use
necessar-
supply.
It may not necessarily be like we have to roll the
rewards.
Reward,
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
No, I've
Oh,
already
he
rolled
already
the
rolled
reward.
them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because you knew the penalty was +1 pressure, +1 time.
Oh, okay.
So I
Wait, so the reward is morale?
the reward is +2 morale, +1 supply. The penalty is +1 pressure, +1 time.
So we're currently at 0 pressure, which means that won't affect us because of Zora's ability.
I think we. I mean, the Spymaster would say if this doesn't work, I'd I think you should accomplish the mission at any cost.
Oh, so you think we should not fail?
I think we should not fail because
Okay.
time is the only thing that
We're already filled the
can't get
first
back.
clock halfway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And if we have zero pressure going into, and we could stick around maybe.
Yeah, but it's so like it's such a small.
increase.
Only getting +1 supply out of it is such a small benefit
Yeah.
for paying
Right.
like, 2 rookies, which is -2
Well,
morale.
The
but
time
we're also avoiding +1 time
Yeah.
and +1 pressure.
Sure. Yeah, I mean the pressure nets out.
The- yeah,
because
the
of
pressure is
Zor's
fine.
ability. I don't
Right,
know.
but
I mean,
we could have 0. and then
No, I
take
understand.
too.
I understand what
Yeah,
you're saying.
it's like you're losing 2 grinning ravens, but not paying the morale for them, right? Because it's two squad
squad
members die.
members.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you gain the 2 morale for dying.
Above the table, yeah, we'll lose it too, yeah.
No, but
Above
you'll
the
gain
table.
it back from the rewards.
Oh, I see. Above the table, I'm also thinking like a recruit action gets up to 5, so
Yeah.
like, we're not even going to do that until we've lost 5. Also, we're 1 closer to a lore master story.
I think avoiding the time loss, especially this early on, I think
This early.
we'll be kicking ourselves later if we're
Yeah.
really pressed and like, oh, and we got recruits up to our elbows and no time left. That's
Yes,
what we'll be
exactly.
saying. So
You can't buy back time. You can't recruit time.
True.
Right. Yeah.
All right, so we'll-
it's your choice.
and we can get
Yes.
more horses with the supply.
So we'll succeed, and we'll lose 2 rookies, and the specialist on that mission will take level 2 harm.
Okay.
Right? Does that sound like the cool?
Mhm.
Yep.
I mean, I think that tells us a lot about the Legion, right? Like this is the type of mission where like just getting engaged probably did enough to buy time on the Western Front, right? Like it wasn't at risk of collapsing, and like Red Raging and Andanika would not rest until like they had fought through the Black Oak, and then also, I mean, since it was so costly, probably means the cavalry arrived and they fought through them too.
Yeah. I mean, it was
Right.
still a grand victory because it would have increased morale if we had morale to take. So.
No, it did. So
Yeah.
it did because you lose morale
Oh,
for the rookies dying.
Oh, that's right,
and then
you're
you
right,
gain
yeah.
the morale for succeeding. So you.
So they
netted
died
that
like
out.
heroes, true
Exactly.
heroes.
Exactly.
I mean, imagine how many enemy reinforcement there must have been if Red Raging used both of her anchors and still a bunch of squad members died.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
both specialists take level 2 harm or just one?
All specialists.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
all
we're-
specialists
we're
on the
gonna
mission.
have to
That's
do
why
the-
it's rough to put a. There's not
Yeah.
usually a great reason to put a medic on a secondary mission
'Cause
as
they
a third
can't,
specialist because they could just take more for,
But they do get the XP as well.
Yeah. So each of them gain 2 XP regardless for surviving.
That's awesome.
So make sure you mark that.
Okay.
Sally. We can get all that sorted. That's okay. So let's keep going forward. And now I've lost my page for what happens at the end of mission phase. Now I think we have a back at camp. Technically, like we should have like a scene was what's going on at camp as like a mission as mission teams are sent out. I think because narratively we were sort of more approaching the Western Front as we kind of did this. Like I'm gonna not do one of those. It'll be more like I think like I kind of want to actually. I think the scene that I want to see as we're kind of riding back is not back at camp. It is after the recon mission. Oh, sorry. Actually, we need the rewards for the recon mission,
Oh yeah.
which
Oh,
is +2
yeah.
intel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you avoided +1 pressure, and you comported yourselves nobly.
That intel. I'm very excited.
But yeah, so like the scene I want to see play out is Tatanika and Slippery Pete.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
Because like now he owes you one.
I'm definitely in the medic bay. Or Slippery Pete is definitely in the medic bay. Getting or whatever medic tent. Healing up, very hurt, laying on a bed. And is Tatanika there too?
She's also hurt, right?
She's hurt. Yeah, and I think also she's like being seen to for like also just like trauma, like psychological trauma.
Would that fall under the medics kind of purview as well? Dealing with, do we have like a company psychologist? Or?
Well, there's not a way to treat trauma in the game.
I know.
So,
I'm just curious. Like,
This is pre-psychology.
yeah. I mean, I think the lore keeper might also be somebody that you would turn to, depending on what your trauma is. Like, I think that's a big part of it, right? Is like, you might not turn to anybody if your trauma is paranoid.
sure.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Also,
true. That's true.
Definitely took unstable as his trauma. So
Who?
the lore keeper.
Oh yeah.
He
When
probably took unstable and obsessed.
yeah, that's probably true.
I think I'll take reckless for Tatsunika.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. What can possibly hurt her?
Can't die. Yeah.
I just want
After that
to.
one.
I just want to stick myself. I want to stick Azure into this scene because I would like to be after the Tatanika and Peter are talking. So if you,
Do you want to walk in the middle of the scene?
I gotta be like probably treating Peter myself,
Okay.
and then like after I'm done, I like go back into like an area of my tent where I'm like resupplying myself and like taking off my belts and belts of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, like let's.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just say actually Tatsunika is not gonna be in there for trauma because she took. I am taking reckless for her, so she's not thinking about her trauma. She's in there getting like patched up from her
Right.
actual wounds.
So, okay. Yeah. I think that Slippery Peter will seek out Tatanika.
Which is all the difficulty of rolling over in bed and shouting at the cot next to you.
No shouting. This is serious, Peter.
Okay. All right.
Oh
Doesn't
shit!
count.
Okay.
Wow.
I realize that maybe I can be a bit harsh on occasion. Like I said, I've come from some hard times. I've lived a difficult life, but you're all members of the Legion. We're all members of the Corps, and sometimes maybe I forget that. I will try harder to be kinder, be friendlier, because you are my sister, and they are my brothers, and you need to treat your family like you want to be treated. And your cooking was good.
Man, Tatsunika is gonna be like, I hope that combat doesn't make me soft like that, and is just gonna get up and walk away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rudy. That was beautiful, but I gotta stay true to Tatsunika.
Oh my God, two heals.
I'm taking trauma now. You just gave me 10 stress.
This is what happens when you bare your soul.
Oh my God.
So,
Wow.
That's perfect.
This is so good.
Oh my god.
And I just love it because like you have to keep working together because you're the scout in the scout squad.
Oh, true. That's right.
I just love it.
Fucking
I love it so
Semiotti, man.
Yeah. Fucking ice cold. Like she's
Tough as nails.
reckless
She's a tough broad.
Oh.
Now she's a reckless tough broad.
Oh, this is so good.
Oh, I've got something I would like to do. So after that and hearing all of that, Azure just walks up next to Peter, puts her hand on his shoulder and just like, yikes. And then walks out to find how do you say your name again? Tatanika. Sorry. So yeah, Azure walks out to find Tatanika and we'll stop her and say, hey, I just want to say you did a great job out there.
Thanks.
So, last night or when we were doing our partying, raging,
Couple of nights ago,
you asked me if I wanted a drink. And I told you I don't. Well, it's because I have my own way to relax. And then she'll open up a pouch and I'm introducing drugs to this game.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
And then she'll pass Tatanika basically a blunt.
Nice.
Well, we gotta come up with a fantasy thing for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? What do you call it? What's
God.
the Panyar word for it? Panyar word for it.
Good question. I don't know what to call it. I would gladly take suggestions because I am terrible at names. Something moss.
That's good.
Like maybe Dream Moss or something.
Ooh,
that work?
that's
Ooh,
cool.
yeah.
So
Dream moss.
Dream Moss, and she
Okay.
goes, "Yeah, you look like you're a little bit on edge. This could help maybe settle some nerves."
Yeah, I could use that. That would be good.
All right.
Oh, this
And
is
I think
rad.
I think Tatanika is gonna like take it and like thank her for it, but like not like the assumption is like we would be smoking it together, like breaking bread together, and Tatanika is gonna like graciously thank her and just like walk away on her own.
Oh, harsh.
Like take it, but you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Breaking
what is the
cornbread
effect?
is what we
Yeah,
say.
I was gonna say thanks for the cornbread. Go my own way.
What's the effect of dream moss? Is it just pot?
I think it's clear. I think it's different. Like, you know, I think every sort of moss in the forest has its own unique way of effects. I think Dream Moss is more of like clarity of mind, because I think for Azure it's more like wanting to be able to focus. So think more like, I don't know.
Oh, so maybe it's called dream moss because it's like it's like a vivid dream, except you're awake,
There you go.
right? So like it makes life more vivid.
There you
Interesting.
go.
So all right, so Sally, let me know how this is, but when she's like basically at the peak of being affected by the dream moss, and I don't know if she's taken it before, like Arun shows up and is like, hey, and like basically grabs her by the arm and like pulls her over like toward the Ember Wolves who are coming back, and like they didn't have a great time of it, and this probably isn't helpful for her, like her new recklessness, but Arun doesn't know that, right? And he's just like bigging her up and be like, oh my God, you should have been there. You should have seen what Tatanika, very soon, I think, about to get a promotion, all right, did on the field of battle, all right? There was a huge explosion. It was so intense. It was amazing. And then he sort of like points at the ring and is like, show it off. Look, all right, we got a bond.
Was Tatanika okay? I think actually Tatanika is going to be really into like bragging and like being in the spotlight for doing something dope.
Mm-hmm.
So
Warren Barton, right? Like
totally. So she's going to be like, we barely got out of there with our lives. I knew exactly where to place that bomb. It was perfect. And I felt it coursing through me, and I knew what to do, and I did it. And she's just going to kind of recite everything that happened like minute by minute, but kind of embellishing it a little bit. And hopefully to like a crowd of like enraptured Ember Wolves.
Are you high right now as you do this?
Yeah. So what is it? It provides clarity.
It's like it's you're awake, but it's like reality is like a vivid dream.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where she feels like she's like holding court, and she's like telling the best story that's ever been told. Like she's regaling this crowd with like battles of glory and combat, but maybe it's coming off as like, I don't know how it's coming off. Maybe it's sounding like weird, or it's like she thinks everyone's enraptured, but maybe people are just like, all right, chill, like you did a thing, whatever.
I think. Well, so here's what I like, and I don't want this to be like a discouragement, but I think it would be cool if maybe like we see where this goes. Add a clock, like an 8 clock to her sheet.
Okay.
For dream moss addiction.
Oh, nice.
And like it can stay at 1 forever if you decide that isn't a thing. But like I think like she's taking it, she's feeling it. Like all of this is like this it's like the first time she's been happy.
Yeah.
In, like quite in like weeks, right? So
yes.
Like I think like maybe like that might lead somewhere, and if it doesn't, no problem.
Love it.
And, like I don't even know where it leads. Like whatever, personality change, not even a mechanical thing, maybe. But
great.
Cool. Yeah. No, that's awesome. All right. So let's let it. It's 10 o'clock. Like let's do a very quick campaign phase, so that we can at least like set up for missions next time.
Okay.
Because there's really only like a few actions we need to take right now to get through. Is that cool? Can we like
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Totally.
and then we're like caught up and we're back on like a normal cadence, and we can go back to like a real normal typical game.
Sure.
Okay, so time passes. That's the first thing that happens in campaign phase. So pressure and time both increase by 1, and food is consumed. So mark 1 used.
Got it.
And then we're back in the command tent. Greymane is hunched over or kind of leaning over his table, and we are off to campaign actions. So the Quartermaster, the Marshal, and Spymaster.
So Quartermaster goes first.
It's kind of a free for all, like, but this is sort of like, let's go back in character to kind of discuss like where are we, what do we need to get done here.
Okay, and so right now we're working through campaign phase. We're going to do all our selections.
Yeah, we're going to do this. Will be like campaign phase 2, right?
Cool. Okay. So then we're on the Western Front.
Yeah, we are at the Western Front, and actually, I suppose I should describe the Western.
When
Front
do I determine when we move again? Too.
You choose to advance after campaign actions.
Okay.
And then you need to tell us what missions are available, right? So before the commander selects one.
Yes. So the missions that are available here are assault and recon. So I'll go ahead and get that out of the way. And the only path forward from here is to Plainsworth, which is like a pretty decent sized like town. Okay. It's not really a city, but that's like the only place to go from here. So that's where you would advance. But so like where we are on the Western Front this is like a marginally fortified area that was originally your like rear camp. So when you marched to Carlsberg and then to the Etmark fields, like this was the back camp of the Eastern Army. And so like you were last here weeks ago before marching to Etmark, and then before marching down to the keep to rescue the commander. And it is pretty different, to say the least. Like what was kind of like this rolling, like green Aldermani kind of like beautiful like plains is now instead like this sort of twisted, blighted, war-torn like ground. Like this is now a battlefield, and it's been a battlefield for days. Like I said when we talked about like the assault mission, the field itself has been just scarred by like trenching and then building embankments and then like hastily constructed wooden barricades that were trampled or like, you know, taken and moved past. And there's literally like one army or the remnants of an army camped in this small fortress and like the surrounding area. And then just this gathering army of the dead, which is constantly testing how well you're defending. So there's like almost a constant tension in the area, and like the threat of battle is imminent, right? It isn't currently storming, but the area around it is like mudded and nasty because Stormbreaker storms have been raging here over the past week. So it's a pretty lousy place, right? But it is full of soldiers that are just trying to like get a lot of like refugee soldiers, right, that have lost their units that are trying to reform. A lot of like generals and like officers riding through and like basically collecting bands of troops, giving them a name and saying, come with me, we're marching back east, right? And so like there are stragglers coming in and groups of soldiers going out. You probably don't want to be the last unit left here when everyone else is gone. But there are still, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of troops sort of stationed here as the army is trying to defend itself while regrouping.
Tell me about these allied forces. Like how allied are we, we'll say?
So the four nations, like when the chosen like came, the 9 chosen were like made in the east, like the 4 nations of the east agreed together that they had to fight this fight, right? Because basically when the gods nominate the chosen, the gods are telling you, go do this. The chosen have all been through here. Zora is still with you, right? Since you got here, like not with you, but like Zora is still here. You've probably seen Shreya. You probably have not seen the Horned One. There are a couple other chosen that you've seen that you haven't necessarily interacted with, but like this is very much like this is what's left. Everyone is kind of agreeing we have to get across the mountains. Nobody is really super organized in how we're going to get there. That's why Zora is tasking you with like get to Skydagger, right? Like hold Skydagger, because whoever gets across will need the time to regroup properly.
Just trying to think as to whether we want to go in with open arms towards our fellow soldiers or be like, fuck off, we have our own problems. Like, this is our camp. Go to your own another camp.
I mean, that's definitely an interesting question, right? I mean, I think that could also color some of the missions that come up too. And also, like, you're the commander, right? Like, what direction are you planning to go? Because after Plainsworth, like, you'll have to make a decision. Do you want to go through the mountains? Do you want to go through the forest? Or
I want to go south through the cities.
Yeah.
Well, so one thing though is Zora's goal is holy, right, or something like that. She wants relics. Glory. Oh, really?
Yeah, Zora wants glory.
Okay.
So she wants you to do dope shit. That's.
I guess it's not dope to be isolationist from the rest of the army.
I mean, you don't have to be inspirational.
Yeah.
You just have to like do the impossible and then go and do it again. Like that's her. That's Zora, right?
I mean, Ash would smile widely and be like, "Why make enemies before you have to?"
Yeah, we're all going to end up at the keep probably, and we want to make sure that people in our we want to make sure everyone in our flank doesn't abandon us.
That's fair.
Like they did at the fucking battle before.
One eye is kind of like pipes up in the corner. He's like, not just the last one. Happened in a lot of battles. Kind of happens a lot in history.
All right. In the meantime, I'm gonna spend this intel definitely. So Ash, if you could put out one of your spies to get us more questions.
Wait, what are you spending the intel for?
I want a special mission.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay. So so you're spending the intel to get a special mission, which means like when we take these actions, right, we should be setting ourselves up to be as successful as possible on the special mission.
Yeah. So we should heal everybody too. We should do the.
Are you talking about capping?
Yeah, exactly.
How many are hurt?
At least 3 specialists or
4 specialists.
4 specialists.
Oh, well, 3 specialists and Tatsunika.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
right. Okay, yeah.
And you know that you only have assault and recon missions here, so you're gonna need a sniper, a medic, a heavy, or a scout, regardless. And your scout is currently fucked.
And the heavy is hurt too.
Yeah.
Sniper's doing well.
Sniper's
right. True.
He's fine. So can you dedicate? Okay.
Yes, we should absolutely do rest and recuperation.
Cool.
100%.
And before that's boosted, how much does that heal?
Just one. They can mark a tick in any harm row.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mark
so
a tick.
I think you need 2 ticks to heal level 2 harm, right?
Oh boy.
If you boost it, then everyone gains a second
Gets
one.
a second. Yep.
Yeah. But so Slippery Peter will still be 1 level 2 harm because he has 2 level 2 harm right now. Right?
Yeah, he does.
Isn't
No,
it
I'm
just
just
a
curious.
harm?
Oh, no.
Wait,
It
I'm
clears
misunderstood.
the healing ticks clear the row.
Okay.
So when you get two healing ticks, you will clear your level 2
Oh,
harms.
okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They both heal together.
Okay. So
Same with level 1. You clear all your level 1s.
Oh, I didn't understand.
Every time you rest
Okay,
them.
I understand. You just need to. Okay, it's not 1 tick; it's 1 damage. It's both ticks is all damage. Okay,
Correct. Yeah.
so we would have to do that to clear. Okay, well, that's what we have to do then.
And if I boost it, it costs a supply, and we only have 1 supply currently.
Or we could do it. Can you do that action twice?
I think.
Hang on. I believe you actually have 2 supply.
So we got one from Josh, and then we got one from the
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Oh wait, did you
What?
spend both?
Did we start with one?
You did spend both.
start with-
And a lot of supply.
We started with 2, and then we spent 1.
Yeah.
So that was
So
1.
So then we have
Then you have 2 more.
left. 2 left
Right.
over right now.
And you can only ever bring 3 supply with you,
Correct.
Oh, we're capped at 3. Okay.
And-
unless you have supply carts,
right.
Gotcha.
which give you more food and also help you bring supply with you to your next location.
So I will boost the rest in recuperation
Cool.
so that every legionnaire gains their second healing tick.
So that will clear all the level 2 harms
Nice.
and everything below that. So I think that fully heals everybody. Then,
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
cool.
Baller.
And then my next question to the command is: we have 1 supply currently, and then what else do you think we should be doing? Morale probably seems good,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Definitely.
How's morale?
10 of 10.
Nice, says
Or-
Claudette. Nice.
Or 8 of 10? Wait.
You're 10 of 10.
10 of 10s, yeah.
So we don't need a party. But we've used 2 foods uses, and 1 horse and 1 black shot.
Hmm.
Oh, this is an asset rating of 0 here. That's the other thing you know about.
Oh,
the rest of it.
jeez.
Sorry. So,
Still
So we
bad.
can't
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
forage or whatever.
Could work on that long-term project.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess that Juicero.
Oh, actually, hang on. So let me give you the special rules here. This might be relevant to you. When advancing, add +1 die to your pressure. The undead are
Oh.
plentiful and move to cut off all paths and egress from the front. The troops remaining here are shell-shocked and have trouble processing what's going on. You can bring them along, but they're in no shape to fight. The Quartermaster may make a 4 o'clock long-term project to feed and rehabilitate them. When it's complete, the Marshal may add up to 5 rookies to the Legion.
Ooh. We did just lose 2, but we only lost 2. So.
Well, we've lost Amber as well, so 3.
3.
Yeah, we're down.
Oh
3.
yeah, including this. Okay. And how are we doing on food?
We're good. I mean, we only use 1 food as time passes, and we've got we have 7 uses left.
All right. What do you think? Do you want to try and take in these? It would also make us look awesome.
Well, so you can also just recruit.
Yeah, that's also a thing.
Oh,
too.
actually, I think what it's saying is that you can't recruit unless you
Here.
do a long-term project.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can take the recruit action because otherwise the
I
recruit
mean-
action is just better.
Would this
Yes.
like lore-wise in
I think this is actually the question that you asked at the front, right? Is like, how do we want to treat our allies?
Yeah.
Right? Because like there's the Zemyati ice hammers. There were the I think it was the Barton first, the Orite first battalion.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are other like regiments and battalions and companies that are around here, right? Like it certainly wouldn't hurt to make friends,
No.
and even like recruit some of them, right? But it's up to you how you would want to do that, and if that's what you want to do right now, is that what the Legion would be focused on?
I think Zora would like that we're the tip of the spear in not only awesome fighting moments, but also like leading our fellows and inspiring them. You said she doesn't really necessarily like inspiring, but I think she might. So I would recommend moving up forward with this project. This is a project, or is this an additional thing entirely?
It's a long-term project.
It is a long-term project.
Yeah.
Fruit.
What do you guys
I mean,
think?
you also have an existing long-term project.
We
Right,
do.
just still.
Yes, and I can take on as long as the long-term projects are different, I can do it. I think I can do it multiple times. So like if we wanted to during a campaign action work on the Juicero and recruiting, like, hey guys, we have a Juicero coming, come join us. We could do those
Okay.
at the same time.
But also, this is like the worst place to recruit.
What?
Yeah, this is like the most expensive possible recruiting
Oh
action.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is what
So
I'm saying, right?
my-
There's, like,
Yeah,
And
I'm just
if you
thinking
don't-
like, hey,
and we
listen,
don't
I'm
need
thinking
them.
of the lore, right? I'm thinking of the story.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right.
right.
Right. The Spymaster's like, this is the worst possible.
And so Claudette here's the Spymaster goes, I think we should continue working on the juicero. One, it'll help us in the long term with reducing stress and make everybody happy.
All right.
Juice.
Fine.
And then what's the
Juice.
alchemist doing?
Oh, good question. Does the alchemist get to do things?
Right, doesn't
The
get-
alchemist gets free projects, remember,
Ooh.
if you would like. But when he rolls it, he risks corruption.
What do we think would be valuable right now? And I can get him started.
Black powder. Can he make black powder?
I think so.
We just
I mean,
spent some.
but we have. Don't we have lots of?
You still have 2 uses left on your current one.
And like that's a thing that you can just gather, right? You can acquire that as an asset.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if it's
like,
If we go through
available,
the city, well,
right?
if we go through the cities, then I'm sure it'll be.
We want them to
abundant.
like make a thing that is sort of outside the rules, you know?
Sure, I
Yeah.
understand.
Something that would benefit us.
like napalm.
Like more napalm, says a
Like
voice
some
inside
sort
of my
of-
head.
I like more napalm.
Like a food cooking thing.
Also, what other things have the squads run into that they haven't really been able to deal with? I've heard multiple squads have run into hounds.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's a
could we
cool
do-
idea. Some sort of
could we-
mask that,
Yeah, could we see some sort? Yeah.
like gas mask equivalent or something that hides your breathing.
So if it's an alchemist, I think it would be more of an alchemical solution. So rather than
Okay.
a mask, I think it would be something that you take that like,
there's deep.
changes
there's
your
there's that one that allows you to hold your breath.
Hold your breath for a scene. Yeah, there's deep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's just
So,
alchemy
an
stuff for it.
extended deep.
Yeah, I mean, like I think that's fair for
That's
a long-term
cool.
project
Yeah.
for
Okay.
it. Like it would add
Right.
deep to an equipable,
Mm.
right? And so you could equip deep for 3 missions.
Cool.
And then another possible option. I've been hearing from the sniper. One of the drawbacks of black shot is that it's very bad against armor.
Yes. You need to
Is
find
there?
weaponry.
Could someone tinker with black shot to make it
Belt.
better penetrate?
That is also a good idea.
Blacker shot. Blackish shot. Black shot and symphony. Nope. Symphony black. Damn it.
Blacker Sweet Symphony. Is that what you're going for?
No, I was going for the different Metallica albums.
Okay. Decision making.
Oh, I have another idea. Some sort of way to extend the shelf life of food, maybe, so we could possibly get 2 uses out of something. I don't know. Some way.
Refrigeration?
Is that too much?
No, I don't know. I like there's a way to do that. It's supply carts.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
So like I don't think that like because supply carts just give you an extra use of food in your food stores.
Mhm.
So like I think that's the way to do that. I don't know that a project is the right way to.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is we're going to do a juicero, the juice machine, and then the alchemist gets a free project to work on. And we're going to go with, I think what's more useful would be the armor piercing black shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like a thing worth dying for.
AP rounds. I love it.
Yes. So I have to roll, right?
Roll for
I have to
juice
roll
throw.
for
And
long
we get the
term.
laborer's benefit as well.
Yes.
Yes. So you're
Yes.
going to spend. Yeah. So your action will be long-term project. You will get a +1 tick automatically for having laborers that can work on that project.
Okay. So the juice row goes up automatically by 1 for the laborers.
Mhm.
And then I roll 2d6. Might roll a 2d6, correct? Or 1?
But don't you also roll again for the juicer because you're spending an action on it?
Yeah, that's what she's doing
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to roll the juice one right
okay, I
now.
see, okay.
Is it 2d6?
now. I don't know.
Is it just 1?
2d6 for what? Sorry.
For
the
my long-term project.
Who's the specialist who's doing
Oh,
it?
that's right.
Oh, yes.
Was that the
Right.
medic
Yeah.
again?
The
For
medic
Rig?
again. Yep.
Okay, and it's
Yeah.
still rigged.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Excuse
then
me.
I think she had 2.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Roll well. Ooh,
I get.
that's not well.
Uh-oh. I didn't see it.
You rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2.
1 and a 2.
1 and 2.
So
I get
1
Goes up
1.
1 tick.
plus 1.
Yep, got that. And then for the alchemist, what's the clock for that project?
So this is trying to get armor piercing black shot.
Yes.
So this will get you 1 box of. Ooh. So I guess that's a question. Are you converting your current supply of black shot to armor piercing black shot, or do you want to create a new supply of black shot? So process black shot and also make it armor piercing.
I think we should do, because if we take black shot right now, we'll go down to 1 use. If we go ahead and just make the clock longer and have them produce extra black shot, I think that would be the smarter route.
Well,
So I'm thinking like,
Potentially.
because typically to create black shot is like you've got to get some of the raw material, right, and then like refine it to create shot.
Would be like a 10.
would we ever?
So I'm going to ignore the material cost of this and just call it a 10.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I was
which
going to
is
say.
Very long term, or convert your 2 uses of black shot you currently have, just upgrade it for a 4 o'clock.
Also keep in mind, I think, like, for example, the sniper, I don't know about the other playbooks, can just choose black shot as utility item.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, cool. We'll do the 4 o'clock
so
then.
yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any time where you don't take the armor piercing over the plain black shot, right? Always go be prepared.
Yeah, I mean,
So I roll equal to the number of alchemists we have.
correct.
So we have 1.
Yep.
And he rolled also a 2.
Okay, so mark 1 tick.
It's all right. It's all right. It's a small clock. We'll be there in no time.
And then you will roll the same number of dice for corruption.
Oh my god, I'm so scared right now.
Roll the same thing.
No. Don't roll the
Oh,
same
no.
thing.
Roll high.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay, he rolled a 4. Calvin
Okay,
rolled a 4.
So 4 5 is 2 corruption. So you can split this amongst any number of alchemists that worked on the project in any way you would like. Which
Huh.
They're all on Callum.
1, 2. He's
Okay.
2 out of 8.
Yep.
Poor Callum.
Yeah. It's all right. It was a bad roll, but we'll get there.
All right.
All right. So Spymaster campaign actions happen at the same time as the Quartermaster's actions because they can affect them.
Yep.
I can assign spies to help on some of those long-term projects, but I'm not doing that. So I didn't bring it up first. Antoinette, again, ventures out into the field to attempt to expand the network. And she rolls a 3, which means she only gets 1 tick,
1 tick.
and she's wounded, which is not great.
Yeah.
Which means I'll need to have her recuperate next time. Crimson Vexing, though, I think we need the intel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to interrogate. Ask the commander for the intel questions list. Your spy is sent on a mission and can answer 1 question from any list, regardless of the commander's intel total, whenever missions are presented by the GM. So when we get to that section, Crimson asks a question.
Nice.
Yeah, so we'll save that because we'll present those missions next week.
Gotcha. Do we get the questions before I spend my intel or after? Do you understand? I guess if I spend an intel to get a new mission, then I lose.
But
that.
you ask questions.
You ask questions before you pick
right.
which mission you do.
But spending the
you
intel gives us the new mission, so it's gone.
Exactly. Yeah.
Goes. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, but again, we'll think about that next week. And the question that Ash got us gets us any question. Doesn't matter.
From any list. Yeah, exactly.
So we can find out where fucking Zora is.
Yes.
If we wanted to. Or where Senator King is. Lots of cool options.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, then the next question, or the next step, is advance. The commander chooses whether to advance the Legion. And this is important because it's basically, do you want your missions to come here at the Western Front, or do you want your missions to come at Plainsworth, which is your next location?
So I'm trying to think, what do we need?
This place sucks.
This place sucks. Our morale's high. There's nothing we can really forage or find here. Staying longer doesn't really seem like there's no benefits. It seems like there's a lot of negatives. I can't imagine this is very inspiring to the men to see all these broken soldiers among the people. And if we get to the next area, Do I know what the missions would be in the next area, or no?
So in your
Shane,
book,
I know, Shane, but would
well, no. In your book, like in your playbook, it gives you a description of all the locations.
oh, okay.
We've been across Aldermark
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. You marched, you conquered it once, and now you're retreating across it. So I think what you know, it says Plainsworth is a once prosperous plains town protected by an ancient wall, and all 4 mission types are available.
Okay.
For the record, the description of the Western Front was small camp, broken soldiers, many undead.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's advance.
CFO.
It's a bit dreary here.
Agreed.
It cramps my
And
stuff.
pressure's already at 1 because of the shitty undead in the area.
Yep, and then you are. Oh wait, you didn't take the consequence, right? Yeah, so it's just at 1
Yeah, it's just at 1.
from the
which will
special
be
rule
0.
here,
Yeah.
which will be 0. So you'll roll 2 and take the lowest.
Yes. Okay.
Wait,
Then-
did we take the penalty from the refugee mission that we had to fail?
Yes.
You're right. You should be -1 morale for that.
Oh, we had to fail that. Okay, because there
Yeah.
were 3. Okay, so we're
Sorry.
9 of 10, but that's still
Yep.
very, very good. Okay. Is
Yeah, sorry. I cut corners on the morale stuff, Sally.
That's
You,
okay.
you should be at 9.
Cool.
Mal, do you think there's any reason to remain here? Is there anything we can scavenge from this?
No, in fact, I'm concerned for our morale if we stay here. I advise that we push on.
Good. We all agree then. Onward! All right, I'm rolling my 2d6 for our advance to see how much time passes. I rolled a 1
company-
again,
Oh,
which is good.
is it?
A 1 to 3 on the time clock is
1 tick.
1 tick.
Yep.
Woohoo.
Okay, so we're at 7. No. Yes, 7 of 8 for
And
summer.
yep, and you will reset pressure.
And reset pressure back to 0.
At 10, the broken each get another ability.
You haven't even seen Stormbreaker yet.
Good. I hope we never do.
One rainy day, and that was all you saw of Stormbreaker. It was weird.
So we keep moving.
Keep moving. On.
So-
A company on the move is a company victorious.
Yes.
Hey, is that what we say?
Well, it's what our commander says.
So
I
we
always
will
forget.
we will be marching on to Plainsworth, and be aware there's an asset rating of 2 in Plainsworth,
Hooray.
and the special rule is as it was part of the Aldermark breadbasket, acquiring food and horses assets in Plainsworth is at +2 dice.
Whoa.
We should have told the commander that like an hour ago.
Yeah, right. He would have been like, oh yeah, horses.
What? No, we're here for war boners.
Hence the horses.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Okay, we're veiling that one out.
Cool. Hooray.
Cool. So yeah. So what is your preferred mission type?
Special mission that we don't know about yet.
No, you're getting
Oh, I
a special
choose
mission.
those.
No.
Special missions are one of the 4 types.
I will
I
generate
understand.
one of the mission, but you still you need to choose a preferred type of mission here.
Yes.
So because there's an increased chance of that coming up as one of your missions.
I will choose. So I don't want to choose recon because I think that the Ghost Owls deserve a break because they've been doing a lot recently.
Fair.
And remember that the Ember Wolves are also down 2 rookies.
Or no, the Grinning Ravens, right?
Oh, sorry. They're Grinning Ravens, yeah.
And their role is as a squad. They're kind of what are they doing?
They're the
assault.
second line assault
Second line assault.
Yeah.
What are the other 2 options? Supply.
and
and religious.
religious.
Supply seems. I mean, this is a place where we can get more horses and what's the other thing? Food.
Food for sure.
Well,
but
we can get those from the Quartermaster too. She can roll for those. I'm curious about religion. I know
Yeah.
Ash is not a fan, but maybe that
Not really. I mean, if we want to waste our time, sure.
Yeah, Claudette feels the same.
about wasting our time. Or
With
about-
religious supplies, yeah. Like, doesn't really interest Claudette.
Okay,
I love it.
I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of my Zim Yachty background. don't really think
Yeah,
that's much of a thing.
one of my things is I'm pious, actually.
Oh no.
Yeah, Bartons are pious.
I think I want to kill more Black Oak Knights, so let's do Assault.
Okay.
Maybe they'll be there and we can kill more of them.
So that's what it'll be.
I know the
All right.
Shattered Lions are itching for a fight too.
Yeah, you got to get the Banner Company into the field here.
Get them into the mix.
Get a chance for some glory.
Yeah,
Playing
yeah.
favorites again.
That's
huh?
true.
Yeah.
Always.
Like I see how it is. The Ghost Owls, they always get the good missions. We haven't had a proper take and hold mission yet. So, cool. So I think that gets us to a stopping point for the night.
Yeah.
Do we thank you everybody who is still here? We are
Yeah.
officially an hour over schedule. But I think now we're able to just do, phase 1, phase 2, move on.
Yeah, we're on track.
Yeah, so I think we'll be good for next week. But yeah, so thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, let's go around. Where can everybody find you online? Great session. I had a lot of fun. I love the fluff stuff. It's great. This game is great. I'm a big fan. Thank you, Shane, again for running it. And
Yeah, thank you.
everyone else for playing. All right. Hi. So, yeah, I'm Rudy Basso. Follow me on Twitter at Rudy Basso. Go to Don't Split the Podcast Network for lots of great podcasts, including Total Party Thrill, hosted by Shane. Where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter at Mundangerous. You can find the show at TotalPartyThrill.com or on iTunes and Stitcher and all the other podcast places. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks.
You can also find somebody else.
Who's that? I'm going to point to him.
I-Hsien.
It's I-Hsien.
You find Total Party Thrill all the places Shane mentioned, and you can find me at Evil Sense Carnite on Twitter. I think I keep switching between my work handle and my gaming handle, and
It's fun. I'm enjoying it.
but they're not the same.
I like your other podcast, too. Do you want to talk about that, or?
I have a work podcast where I talk to people about anything except their jobs. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, sure. How about another podcast from the person above me?
It's me. You can find me on Twitter at Rocket Orca and all of my shows at geekspective.com. There's Tales from Oxfairy, Red Mage, Blue Mage, which is the Magic the Gathering one, and also Shapeshift, which is my actual play where I actually am the GM and I GM lots of games, but right now Ryutama. Real quick though, I will not be here for the next 2 sessions because I'm going to Scotland to play games in a manor house.
Ooh, nice. Good reason for not being here. Very good reason.
Yes.
We fully expect you to bring Azure along with you.
Sure, I will insert her into almost every game that I play.
Awesome. Yeah, maybe we'll bring in a guest too to kind of fill that role while you're not here. Not as quartermaster, of course, but maybe apprentice quartermaster. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll figure something like that, and then someone else on the mission. Also, I want to give another shout out to Shapeshift. Right, Tomb is such an interesting system. If anyone's want to hear something about it's like a really cute, wholesome game, like kind of different than this. Yeah,
but
big contrast there. It's like you roll to cook fish for your friends.
Yes, and are your rations delicious? It's definitely feels and runs like a JRPG.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. And then last to my upper left, Sally.
Hi, Sally. I am at Sally T on Twitter. You can follow me there. You can listen to my podcast, The Struggle Bus. And that was really fun. Thank you, Shane, and everyone.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for joining. And thanks, everybody, for watching.
Yep.
Yay.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.